The seals have been broken, and the stream deck is too. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Chaos Unending.
It's weird. It's weird. It's a Thursday, and nothing knows what to do.
At a new
Don't
special
check that
time.
clock. It is Thursday.
Yes, at a new special time frame where we seek to unseat the most popular D&D streaming show in all of the land.
And you gotta guess who's
In all
never played
Christendom.
D&D.
Yeah, this is
Properly.
gonna be a...
Well, to be fair, this was my first time playing D&D as well. in a
Yeah, but
way,
we're in
so-
like episode 24.
Yeah, but you got a crew. We got you. We're not gonna let you die, because Shayna will drive up on our lawn in
No, she'll drive on my lawn because I'm only 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a regular here at the channel, you'll notice that Ryuko is looking a little bit scruffier today.
We're Carmenless.
We are Carmenless, but we have a stand-in Nils. A stunt Nils, if you will.
A stunt nil.
Stunt Nils.
Back in that room, as you all search for a tubular key. This is what I had described before, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something cylindrical.
Well,
Yes.
it doesn't look like the key's in here. We kind of went through it to a great extent. There are two other places we haven't looked, and while you may not like it, and Carmen certainly didn't, we completely skipped that nightmare room.
Yeah, she didn't want to go in there.
It's not that I blame her, it's just that we kind of need to find this key, I think. This is the door we need to go through. Why lock some? This is the first thing that's been locked, period.
Yeah.
This might prove to be the way to some sort of portal to get us out of here. Although there is that door that leads into a hallway back in the map room, but even still, there's something beyond here that's either vital or valuable.
Interesting either way.
Yes.
I mean, I'm more concerned of trying to just get out instead of trying to get trapped with witches.
No,
Fair.
we do want to get out of here, lad. Please do not mistake that at all.
I'm pretty sure you can't sell shit if we don't leave, so
This is
it's
true.
still the general goal, but would you be down with convincing Carmen to let us go look in that other room?
Yes, I will go and speak with her.
I can understand her. I can understand her trepidation as well as her desire to draw the map as best as she can. But if these turn out to be anything like the skeletal and decomposing victims in the other rooms, we will definitely be needing her assistance.
I mean, sometimes a skeleton is just a skeleton.
Yes. But
This entire place is riddled with ceremony and this opulent...
plus, you said that there's this general hum of death magic.
Yes, it seems like it's very hard to pick out what will come back to life in animation and what won't, considering everything's in this thick fog. It's very hard, but if you're going to hide a key somewhere, maybe they may be having this key somewhere in a room where everyone is like...
Where everyone would avoid it like the plague.
Well, plagues.
Well, yeah,
Poor choice of words.
the scarier the room, the more likely it will be there, right?
Maybe.
Nils goes to the map room to...
Well, everyone make perception tests.
Oh boy,
okay.
boy.
Alrighty.
It's just a d20, right?
It's a d20 plus, do you have perception? So perception is by the
Yes.
wisdom. Alright, so then you add your proficiency score
Okay.
on the top left.
Alright. And add proficiency. Okay.
Yeah.
Proficiency plus wisdom.
Oh,
bonus.
goddamn. What?
Got a 7.
So I add as 8.
Unnatural 20.
As Nils goes to leave through the door, you all hear the slam and clatter arms and armors bouncing off stone. Coming from the room.
Coming from the room we're in?
No.
Oh,
Which room?
outside.
okay.
Coming from the room outside.
The one that Carmen's in?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Nils rushes in to get there as quick as possible.
Anybody else? What is everyone else's?
We'll go as
accompany.
We'll go as well.
Yeah. If there's some kind of commotion going on, and I
We
highly
would have
doubt
to go
it-
back that way anyway if we were going to go into the other room to remain out of the line of
Well, we have to
sight.
convince Carmen to let us go first, so we have to go that way anyway.
Alright, so let's go see what's going on.
You run out into the grand hall. Guards still standing in their eternal patrol. You notice that the map room door is open.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear coughing and wheezing coming from that room.
Carmen? Lemire calls out to her.
You hear it's a deep, throaty, like, comes from the chest kind of cough.
I hate eyebrows, man.
Eyebrows.
I know, you never know if they're favorable brow or a sign of
Unfavorable.
misfortune.
That's all you hear. Just coughing, deep, throaty cough. That has a chest component to it.
Yeah. Well, you were a little ahead of us.
Yeah, I mean, what is like the path between, so I don't like get in front of the
No,
eyes
it's
of the
the
guards.
map room is on the same wall as the one you're in.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
So as long
okay.
as we don't enter that little square rectangle area and we stay behind them,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
fine.
Okay, so just like go to the area where the map room is.
Yeah, we're definitely going to go check on her.
Make a dexterity check.
Oh boy. Ooh, that is a unnatural 1.
But do you have...
My dexterity is -1 and I rolled a 2.
Oh, God.
Oof.
Oh, no.
Running ahead,
Oh.
not being Nils' best suit, one might say. While you were walking along
Oh, did I step
sneakily against the wall, you had avoided this pressure plate. The one that Nils specifically stepped on just now.
Oh, jeez.
A spike. About yay long. Drives directly out of the pillar and stops Nils in his tracks. If he had continued moving, he might have ripped his foot off as it sticks out the other side of his ankle.
Oh.
Clean through boot. And it stays extended.
So am I like trapped at the wall, or did I?
Yeah, your ankle. No. You're at the pillar. You're on the
Oh, okay.
on the right side of the pillar. You're kind of rounded out because you were rushing.
Mhm.
You rounded out, stepped on the pressure plate, and right through the ankle.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, alright, can we slide him
Still-
off of it?
You still hear the deep, throaty cough
Before
coming
we
from the
do-
map room.
Hildebrand, you know the traps well enough. If he removes his foot from the pressure plate, will it instantly reset? How do we get him off
Is this the same
without-
pressure plate that was up on the stairs?
I'll let you make a perception test. I will give you advantage.
Thank you.
like
And
you
that will
needed
be a 17.
It's reminiscent of the pressure plate from the first hallway, the one that triggered the drop block mechanism.
Okay.
This one, though, seems to be attached to something within the pillar that activated this driving piston release.
Alright, so if I take my crowbar and wedge it under it and just lift the plate up a little bit.
As you start, you can see the pain start to go. Nils feels the pain as the pressure plate starts pushing his foot up while it's still connected to the spike.
Okay, help me stop.
Okay. No, well, I wasn't like lifting it that way.
I
was,
understand.
Like twisting it slowly like this to try to lift the pressure plate up.
Any attempt to lift the pressure plate up because his foot's still pushing it down.
Because the spike is
through his ankle,
and
it's holding his foot down on the pressure plate.
Okay.
I'll be fine. Just go check Carmen. As far as we know, this room, besides my ankle right now, is perfectly fine.
All right, Lanera, you stay here with him. I'll go check on Carmen.
Okay, so Lanera's gonna lean herself, like if you need to lean onto her, and be like, all right, can we slide his ankle out from the spike?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Oh, that's what I was starting to ask before. If he was like pinned against the wall or something, like he came all the way out.
It's through his ankle. He is technically pinned to the wall because it's going through his ankle.
Okay.
But
he's not pinned against the wall. He's pinned from the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could I use my chill touch to make the spike so cold that it just shatters?
That is an interesting technique, but know that the metal is a very good conductor of heat.
And the lack thereof.
Yeah, it's a very good conductor in general, and putting any kind of energy into the rod would transfer it to Nils's ankle.
I don't want to curb stomp this. Cause that does not seem like that would help.
No.
Well, it's not like it's barbed, so it's not like.
No, it's a sheer spike.
So
Is it a metal
they can just
spike?
so they can slide him along it.
Well, there's the rub. The trigger mechanism put the tile that he's on like this. So to slide out, there's less room than where his foot is. Imagine stepping down and pushing down the plate and then having a spike go through. There's less room here than where his leg is taking up here. He has stepped lower than where this is.
Now the spike is obviously would be a conductor through him, and that might be terrible. But if I were to destroy the mechanism, would the magic?
You don't know what destroying the mechanism would do. You don't have thieves' tools.
Wait! I have an idea.
Okay.
What if you did that, your teleportation walk, and took him with you?
That is
The thunder step.
that is a very hefty spell that you're asking me to use.
Or we can go and I'll go and see what Carmen's doing, and we can have.
You've taken these tools apart. These traps. We're spending so much time. Could you take it apart? Disarm it?
You instantly went to where you went to go prying the pressure plate up. But what you didn't notice is that the other thing you noticed from your high perception roll, that you didn't let me get to, was that the drop had revealed a small, looked like a piece of pull chain on the inside, because the pressure plate had to drop down on the interior of the pillar that was now exposed.
Okay.
You can see a crevice and access to inner workings.
All right, so I'll take like a little crook.
Get your thieves' tools in there
Out of the thieves'
to
tool.
disarm the trap.
And work to try to pull the.
Make a thieves' tools check.
Okay.
This is a dex check plus thieves' tools proficiency if you have it.
Yes, I do because of my criminal background. And boy, did I. Oh, advantage?
No.
No, okay. All right, so that would be a total of.
This is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
I mean,
Welcome to D&D, Spike.
13?
You start to jiggle it, and the spike goes in and out
Okay.
really fast,
Hildebrand.
doing 1 point of damage. Oh, I never did the initial spike damage.
No,
Yeah,
you
no,
didn't.
yeah. I thought
mean-
you were being merciful for a moment.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
It did 13 damage.
Oh,
Whoa!
that is a painful spell.
You're impaled.
Oh,
It's a lot of damage to
And
be
pinned,
impaled.
Yeah.
4.
Sorry. I
Oh.
forgot that spikes and traps do damage other than just pin people to places.
He says with a grin.
Yeah.
Oops!
Is Shayna on her lawn yet? 5 minutes in, bleeding out.
We just had the sprinklers repaired. No.
Oh, that is like a
All
quarter
right,
of my
I'll
health.
try. Can I try again?
You can try again.
Do it.
I'll try.
Do it better, please.
Wait. Because you're new to this,
Yes.
guidance.
Yes,
Yes,
if you...
I should have done that.
Or even bless.
No, guidance is the same thing
yeah.
as bless, but it's momentary. It's a cantrip.
Okay.
Come here, Hildebrand. Please, do it better this time.
Okay, I will. I'll try. Really. 8 strength versus a 14 strength. Ow!
So you get target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled.
Yeah, so add a d4 to your d20.
Okay. That would be a 15, a 21.
This time, the spike completely retracts and pulls out of his ankle.
Move my foot
Alright,
well
the
away
pressure
from the track.
plate flips back up.
Okay. I take a piece of chalk out of the thieves' kit. Lightly put an X on the plate.
By the way, the removal of said spike does
Oh no.
another 2 damage.
Oh, okay. It's 2. Thank you.
I'm sorry I couldn't get it done sooner. All right.
Fine.
Yes. Now.
We must go find Carmen.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to do a role reversal for a moment here. Venera, you go ahead and check on Carmen. I'm going to cure wounds on the cleric.
Ooh.
Very well,
Okay.
yes. So she's going to try and, like, gingerly step over, obviously.
Keeping to the way you walked
Yeah.
before.
Um,
That was the trapless method.
And
Yeah.
I will use 2 spell slots.
Okay, so that's 2d8.
Yes.
Oh, little old me.
You get to the open door, and on her knees in front of a torn piece of the map is Carmen,
You get 6 back. Sorry.
heaving and retching.
Oh wait. 6 plus.
You see her. Her eyes are wide, but
they're
just
not.
as you're arriving,
12.
she's starting to. It looks like she's calming down a bit. Like you caught her at the end of like a panic attack kind of moment.
Weird.
And you see her place a hand over her chest and use 5 points of lay on hands to get rid of.
How did you get the other 6?
Because I forgot to add
to
my
rest.
my spell modifier.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Holding like one of the many scraps of white fabric she has draped around her to her face out of precaution, she kind of Carmen.
As she's coughing, she holds up a hand
Linear stops.
and
the
she
one.
points, and you can see a little bit of the yellow dust in the air. She stands up. Black mold. Let's get out of here.
Well, still kind of holding her fabric up. Did you check the door at
Not
the end?
yet.
Okay, come on, let's get out of here. Don't worry, Nils is fine, but he did take a bit of a scuff. We're gonna go check the other door.
What
Come
did you
on.
do to my boy?
Hildebrand's taking care of
Needed a
him.
reason for her to have a really raspy voice for the whole fucking session. So here we go.
Creative DMing right there.
Lung full of black mold will do that.
So anyway, now we'll all talk like Harvey Firestein.
I need to sip every time I do that fucking voice because it's gonna be harsh.
You need Gollum juice.
Yeah.
All right, so ushering like Carmen out, they both like exit. Well, okay, so we really wanted to try and check that room on the northern wall. I know you did not want to go in there. I understand why, but we need to find that key. I think no one locks a door quite like that for no reason.
I didn't get to check the other door. I scratched it. There was a hole. I thought there might have been something behind the map. And as I scratched at it, I got a face full of mold. I think I'm okay now. But it's gonna take me a little while. Sagma.
All right.
All right. Are you all right?
I'll be fine.
Is
I made my constitution save.
is the whole room filled with gas?
It's not necessarily.
Spores.
Yeah, maybe if we let it settle again before we go through, then we can check on that door at the end. But I mean, going through, especially with fanciful capes and just flutters and stuff, might, bring it back up. So when we do go through, we should be very careful.
Actually, we don't have our capes on.
She turns and looks. She turns and looks
right at me.
at Brand. What did you do to him?
No, I
Lyra said you hurt him.
I did not
No.
say.
No.
I,
He may have made it go a bit back and forth into my ankle, but he did heal me, so I'm all right. I'm more worried about you. Are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Okay.
Are you okay?
He's fine. I actually healed him.
after stabbing him repetitively.
I did not do the stabbing. He stepped on the plate. It was a trap.
I think the lesson we've learned is always check for traps.
That's a good lesson. I'm glad you've learned it.
It seems like it's a lesson we both have to learn.
Watch your mouth.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, in Warhammer universe, Sir
Yes.
is gender neutral.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a S-E-R.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
like-
she
Yeah,
chose
right.
earlier. What
She chose specifically. She was cool with Sir, the gender neutral Sir.
Right, okay.
So no ma'ams.
Yes, sir.
All right, are you good enough to, or do you need a rest?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
I do think we should take, at some point, some time to kind of make sure everyone's okay, get a breather before we keep going, but...
The only room that seems to be somewhat secure, ironically, is the treasure room.
I mean, do we want to take just a little bit of time, make sure everyone's okay? You just got repetitively stabbed. Carmen just breathed in, I don't know how old, levels of fungus mold. Ugh. And honestly, I could use a few minutes to kind of contemplate over my pearl,
Well,
gather myself before we
and
go to that nightmare fuel of a room.
Well, I can also give that. I can also, if anybody else has taken any harm to them, I can actually help you mend a little bit more during that time.
So let's camp in the treasure room. I'm sure you're very upset about this.
I shall soldier on.
Right.
Carmen seems agreeable enough to go along with this idea. Everybody kind of needs a bit of a rest.
Okay, so for a short rest, she's using her arcane recovery
Okay.
to get back half her, so 3 mana.
3 mana.
Oh wait, that's from the wrong spot. These are the ones I used.
How much mana do we usually cover?
For you during what does he get? During,
Clerics don't recover mana during their short rests. They
The-
get back the bonus attack,
Mm-hmm.
and you get your channel divinity back. So you
Okay.
can either do turn undead or guided strike.
Okay.
For Shayna's character Carmen, what does she get back during a short rest?
If she reads her book.
She used it last, I think. 'Cause-
Yes, I think she used it
right? I
on
think
the
so
on the
as
last
well.
short rest you guys took.
Or
Because
she can only use the book once a day.
I think she gets
per short rest.
her channel divinity back as well. I think.
Okay, so during the short rest, that would allow her to use the book again, correct? It says once per day during a short rest may replenish.
Yeah, you can only use it once.
And my Song of Rest,
Mm-hmm.
8 points back to those who need it.
You still have to spend at least 1 hit die to heal to get that. You don't just heal
okay.
everybody for 8 hit points. They have to spend the hit die to heal back.
Carmen has this much missing health, but this is all she has left for lay on hands. We can't do anything about lay on hands, but do you want her to heal? General group decision here.
Yes, she can heal that.
Okay.
I mean, who
And
else is
if
here
you
besides
use
me?
everybody, you can use a levels amount of 1 of your hit dice to get back.
Yeah.
In
All
your
right.
case, it would be a D8. So you would roll a D8. You have
You're still
your
missing
level
health?
5.
Yeah, I have like 2 or 3 health.
So at the end of the day, just
Roll one.
roll 1 die, and you'll get everything back.
Well, 1d8. But
You don't
yeah.
even need to roll it,
You don't
really.
even really need the roll because we know we're getting the.
It
8
just means you
from-
spent
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Same thing for Carmen. Carmen's now back at full health.
Good.
Oh boy.
I'll spend it on mine. And I got my 4 back. So I don't even need to do the Song of Rest then if everybody's...
The Song of Rest you can do every time you rest, though. There's no reason to not do it, honestly. You're just always whistling softly
All right.
when everybody rests.
So if anybody did not get all of their hit points that they took back, you would gain an extra 8 points. I rolled really well on the Song of
Yeah,
Rest
you
this
really
time,
did
too.
this time. So there's nothing that can help her get back her lay on hands, correct?
Not right now.
Okay.
It's long rest
Okay.
is all that's left.
Fair enough. All right. Now, I think we should check at least that one room down the hall on the northern wall before we go down to the map room. I mean, we've given it a good amount of time for the spores to settle, but when we do go back in there, we should probably take some precautions either way.
Of course.
Um,
The one with the
Yeah, yes. I mean, they're reverent of something. Maybe there is also something else in there other than dead bodies.
Well, it seems in here the dead don't seem to stay dead.
No, I suppose that's also quite true. So we should be careful, as always. I mean, it seems redundant to say in this place, but Hildebrand, do you want to take point to look for traps? Normally, I know,
yes.
Carmen, this would be your place, but in this place of all places, I think your skills shine particularly.
I'll do my best. All right. So, well, we managed to walk down close to the wall away from the pillar with no problem. So that is definitely a safe path. So we're going to go back the way we came, hugging the wall.
Hugging the wall along the edge of the chamber. Gotcha.
And going along where I know was not trapped.
Mm-hmm.
You said that I had that was upstairs that I found the one like was seemingly in the middle of the room, like right at the that was. Are we on the checkerboard right now? Are we at the
No.
checkerboard? Okay, it was the checkerboard upstairs. Then.
Checkerboard was upstairs. This is a grand hall, all this gleaming white marble
Okay. All right, so
lime.
we're going to go back once again, hugging the wall because that's where we
To
walked
avoid the
safely
guards,
before.
yes.
And we'll go down. I'll still keep an eye out in front of us just for any discoloration, any kind of unevenness.
Yes.
Not with a 1.
Luckily, you were still following your previous steps. You hadn't been trying a new path. But you don't see anything new as you walk around.
All right.
But retracing your old steps does keep you safe.
All right, so
And you find yourself back at the room we will delightfully call the audience chamber.
Oh, that's nice. Well, we know we were able to open the door and nothing came flying in our faces. We made sure the first time, but we weren't able to go any further, so...
Yes, pretty much we opened the door and said, oh no, not a good place, goodbye.
Would you like a better description of the place once you open it again?
Well, I was going to ask Carmen, the drift globe, for those mayflies who can't see very well, could you possibly float it further in so we can get a better look?
She gives you a slow blink.
Am I wrong?
Pulls the drift globe out. I can't make it go very far.
What if I put one of my lights in to supplement it?
that you
Because
can
I
do.
still have those.
Oh.
Your dancing lights count as 5 torches.
Oh, well then yes.
And they're a cantrip too, so...
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, this is much better.
Yeah, if we're going to go in there, we should see what we're walking
And the thing
in
is,
on.
now I don't need to, well, especially since we're here in this tomb, I don't need to pretend to use...
No need
gadget.
to hide. I think anyone in here would have just as many questions either way.
All right. So,
They kind of gutter into existence and dance their way in, marching as if a single file group of... It's 4 lights or
Yes,
5 lights?
4.
4 lights. 4 lights, single file, moving into the room.
what are you doing?
What seems like countless Nehekarans stand, ready, staring up to the sky, their hands curled on either sides of their chests, staring up, mouths open, agape to the sky.
And they're
They're-
completely covered in gauze, you said.
No.
No? Oh.
They look dry, but their flesh has some kind of waxy sheen to it, almost like some kind of leathery preservative of some kind. They all look like the air can't touch their flesh.
If I didn't know better, I'd swear these poor devils would turn into candles.
Well, I know in some burial rites they use preservatives of all kinds, and like apothecaries, so it could be a side effect of that. We're kind of not going in, but kind of just like looks up. Can we see at all if there's anything along the ceiling?
I'll raise the lights up.
As you raise the lights to the ceiling, you see that they're all staring up at a beautiful rendition of a starry night sky. Very reminiscent of our starry night in this world.
Do their eyes look over the doorway?
Nope,
Just up at the ceiling.
just up the ceiling, all of
All
them
right.
directly
I wanted to
up.
make sure we weren't going to walk
Well-
in and turn around and say, "Oh dear, look at that!"
The cavities,
They don't have tongues, do they?
they're just mouths open, teeth spaced because their gums had receded. Some nice long, almost finger-like teeth extend as their lips have peeled back, giving each one this extended, toothy maw.
Charming.
I like that.
So is it
I'm
like
glad to
just
say the
a,
Steve Jackson game.
it's like a closed room, or like is there something
It's a
anything past
room
that?
of 4 walls. You stand at the leftmost corner of the wall that you're entering.
I'm going to leave one light up in the ceiling area. I'm going to bring the other 3 down to the floor level.
Okay. Make perception tests.
Who?
Everybody who's looking.
Are you rolling for Carmen over there?
Carmen's in chat.
Oh,
Ryuko has made it.
Did you roll for her, or should I?
natural one.
Everyone can roll. Whoever wants to
Just
roll
in
for her
time.
can roll for her.
Don't have me do it. I just rolled a 1.
Hold
That would
on.
make you the best person to roll for it.
Do I use her same dice, or let's? All right, hold on. All right, so
Oh yeah, you
Oh,
go.
go.
I got her. No, she's 16, then 17, 18, 19, 20.
Oh yeah.
And I
For
got,
Carmen.
and I got
oh,
a 19
oh yeah.
altogether.
Oh yeah. I forgot about my. I don't have a perception.
22 for Lynira.
I don't have. I'm not
and I got a 19.
it's still a 1. I'm not.
Perception?
Well, I mean, do I add wisdom? I'm not. I don't have.
If you
effect.
rolled a 1,
Nope, okay.
if you rolled a 1,
It's a 1.
no.
So Lanier and Carmen were on fire together.
Nils is just like kicking the sand.
All
or,
right.
like,
So highest.
I had 19, so that would be them.
18, 19,
then you got
22
22. Okay.
for Lanier.
Everyone except, well, Nils, who is admiring his extremely shiny boot buckle. Admiring the work he put into that. Everybody else notices that the floor seems... this room must have been very well sealed. There's no dust.
There's no dust.
None. The floor even seems to have a shine to it.
The same shine as...
The bodies. Almost as if this room might have been... Like the stone was cared for. The stone was... Maybe it was,
Somebody polished the bodies of the stone?
maybe the floor had been lacquered.
This place doesn't seem hardly as abandoned as the other rooms. I mean, Nils, look, you could see there's like a lack of dust. Everything seems very pristine.
There's no other door in this room, is there? That we can see? I take one of the other lights and move it towards the back of the room.
No, but as you move the light a little bit further in, you notice that there is something in the center.
Ooh.
It's a little bit lower than the rest of the other ones. It's the audience in the chamber, all of these bodies with their hands cupped and screaming to the sky. They're all on small blocks. They're seated. But they're seated high. Their feet don't touch the ground. Stool height, almost. There is one in the center, though, that stands. That also seems to be staring up to the sky and shouting, but this one's arms are out, with its hands pointed up.
Does it seem to be dressed any differently than the others? Something that would show status, or...
They all wear robes. This one's robes... It seems to be wearing maybe a mantle that is a little bit more impressive than the rest of them.
In the treasure room, there are all of the items in there.
Stage whisper.
Fix your mic also. Your mic's splaying outward. How trashy.
Am I okay still?
No.
Ah.
Sorry.
Is that better?
Sure, it's
That
not
is
in the
better.
middle.
And stage whisper.
That
Matt?
treasure room.
That'll be fine.
You're good.
That treasure room. We saw the items that they had name tags on them. That they belonged to somebody.
I think it's that, not that they belong to them, but they were given forward as,
I'm just wondering though.
like wedding gifts.
Yes, I'm just wondering if we put something from there on this individual, it might do something. I don't know.
You're all standing outside the room still, correct?
Crazy.
Yeah.
This place is so crazy. You never know what might happen, what might work and what might not work.
Maybe this effect on Zavun is like some sort of ritual spell or something. Maybe it just
Like you think
not
maybe
go
it's
well?
it's almost out of time, perhaps? Like we were running into earlier, it seemed as though we were one place, and then when we came through the room, we were another place. Are you saying you think possibly...
Not just that, but also remember the sun has not moved in the middle of the sky.
Well, yes.
All right.
All right, well...
I'm going to examine the floor.
Directly. Okay.
Directly. Look down. I'm going to gently take some of the ball bearings out of the thieves' kit.
Okay.
I'm gonna just
Shoot
them
some.
off in random directions. And that would be a 16 altogether.
They roll fantastically across the smooth floor, picking up here and there as they cross over one of the creases in between two stone where the grout would sit.
That big little moth bug.
Bounces into a few bounce into the seats. These rectangular stones. And clatter into corners. Bounce around the room. Come to a rest, finally. Usually sitting in one of the ruts in the floor. With no result.
Alright, but they didn't roll backwards.
Nope.
So it's not slanted. The floor is not slanted, otherwise they would have
They seem
started
to have
rolling
rolled.
back.
They seem to have rolled how you expect.
Alright, so they didn't roll back then, so there's no... It's not like it went up a slight incline and is coming back. So there's that.
I mean, as interesting as this place is, we are looking for the cylinder. We are looking for that key. It doesn't look like there's much in here.
Well, I mean, can we not try to see, maybe check their votes?
We could rifle through the bodies, yes. She kind of was like, suggested it.
Is the one out in the center with their arms out? Are they wearing anything other than the mantle? Any kind of pendant or anything?
Not from where you're standing. You can't tell. It's amongst, like I said, it's a whole room of these things. I said countless before. It's because you can't get a good height to actually count how many are in there. It's a large, from what you can tell, probably 40 by 40 room.
That's a big room.
And the bodies just literally are wall to wall.
Wall to wall in a amphitheater almost style seating. You catch a glimpse as though you were standing on the outside of a stadium looking through the tunnel at the field. You can see the figure in the middle with its arms outstretched. You can't really make its back seems to you, but you can see its head is leaned up.
All right. I'm going to detect traps and we can't even get into the room because of what?
No, you
what-
can.
we
You
can.
can. You can
walk
move in
in.
between them.
Nobody's just, everyone's in two
I'm going to
suits.
check. All right, then check for traps, and that will be a 22 altogether.
Okay, so you're a perception test to look around. You don't see anything immediately right in front of you. You notice that the blocks, some of them are a little off kilter at the, almost like when a table leg needs a coaster. You notice a few of them, one part of the bottom doesn't sit flush to the ground.
I make a note of which one, and I say, if you're going to come in, don't come in yet. But if you do, watch out for this one, this one, this one right off the bat.
What about them? Do we need to just not?
Don't even touch them because the stone that they're sitting on seems to be off balance. It seems to be off kilter. So if they were to be jostled,
Fair.
it might set something off. Much the way that those benches upstairs, when they were depressed, the giant foot came down.
Well, if we're going to rifle the bodies, we'll avoid those then.
Noted. Thank you. Can we move on now?
All right.
Yes. Enters the room.
I wonder.
Can you wonder and walk?
Yes, as I'm going along, I'm looking very carefully. Do I find any?
You don't see any more you note them each time you see one. They're pretty regular. It's like every other or so has this irregularity to the bottom edge, just kind of sitting as if you're in that uneven chair, you sit back a little bit, it goes thunk and sits that way. You sit forward, thunk, goes to the other leg, and it's just like, wow, the forward and the forward left, back right, the fucking chair. Could somebody give me a coaster?
Maybe we could make our way to that central.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. I wouldn't say we should touch them directly, but since it's not like we're keeping a low profile here, I can just kind of check any pockets, etc. with that hand of mine that is not mine. An extra bit of precaution.
It couldn't hurt.
Alright, so what is she doing with her mage hand?
So once we get to that main figure, she's kind of giving a look over. Does it look like there's any pouches on belts, any...
Right, hold on. Let me describe you getting to that first, before you start describing what you want to do once you get there. It doesn't take you long to weave your way through the statues, having Bran point out all of the irregularities in them. You're pretty much able to dodge them well enough. It's right before the center stack. It's a little bit harder to get past, as they're a little bit more tightly set. So I'll need everybody to make dexterity checks who wants to pass into the center ring.
Wait.
Yes.
Can I...
Anybody who wants to pass into the set, like, I'm specifically pointing out that this is an optional dexterity check for people who want to pass by the first row and get past
I
into
would
the
think
middle.
this anyway because of Carmen's history with dexterity.
Oh.
And I'm going to enhance.
Okay.
So everybody's going to just crowd into the center. You're not stopped. Nobody's stopping. You're just going to crowd into the middle together.
Hold up. Stop.
I rolled.
And I will... Let me just make sure what...
I think it might be wise if... I don't need to necessarily be on top of the figure if I want to rifle, but I just need to be able to see clear enough.
Also, you can walk a clear circle around. There's aisles in between each set. It's circular.
Oh, then...
You're noticing that these... It's not just a random allotment. There's circles.
Let's avoid this altogether. It seems like time's stopped here. What's 5 more minutes of us walking through this place?
Right.
So you walk along in between the second and first row?
Yes.
Sure.
In a circle around the center to see what the center is about.
Yeah, rather than risking going through such a tight...
As you proceed to get a better look around, I'll have perception tests from all of you right now.
Right now.
You see that this man standing in one hand is actually clutched looks like a curved dagger, similar to the Kopesh blades that the guards were holding in that first central circular room.
Yes.
But a dagger version. And in the other hand, he holds what looks like a small set of scales with a falcon's head atop it. But holding it by the staff, and it has no base. He's holding it. His head is up. What did everybody get for your...
8.
You get a very priestly feel from this guy.
Unnatural 20.
16 on Lanira and 10 on Carmen?
She doesn't have,
no,
she doesn't
11.
have perception balance.
Oh.
Okay, so Bran notices something about its face.
The face.
Yes, the teeth in particular. The receding gums that they all have. You can see the space between the roots. And you notice that the first incisor just to the right of the front tooth has what looks like a small bit of twine looped around it.
And
descending down its throat. I'm gonna let you think about that while I have to go get something to drink, so I have to take my medication. Sorry, guys.
There is a small piece of twine attached to one of its teeth, going down the throat.
You can see it once he points it out.
Okay, yes.
Let them know what I said.
It's the twine is wrapped around one of the teeth in the way that it's similar to the other mouths of the
Yeah.
other creatures of the other poor unfortunate souls here.
Do you think they like swallowed the key, or do you think it's more of like a trap?
I don't know. I'm wondering if something was ingested to hide it, or because there's is it possible to examine the scale just from where we are?
Nope.
It seems like
Because it should have a base. The scale should have a base, but it doesn't. I'm wondering if the base.
Looks like a handle.
it's like a handle.
Oh, so it's not like it's not like it's missing a base.
Nope.
Damn. I thought maybe the base would be the key.
Seems like nothing about their culture makes very much sense. It's all very, very unorthodox.
Do you perhaps recall anything? You know so many things about rituals and history and
I mean,
religions.
Given my mother being who she was, I have some tales of Nehakara, but it's very vague. It's been so far removed from even my people's histories. But I can try and rifle the body, like you suggested, from a safe good 30 or so feet. I would say, considering the range of calamity that we've run into, from spores to spikes, to that we should be very careful as I try and fish up from its throat whatever is in there.
Well, if anyone can do it, you certainly can. Beyond any shadow of a doubt.
I don't know. I'm using Mage Hand to fish it out. I don't know if this is used for a thing.
Well, we'll see. You have inspiration regardless, because you might need to make would she need to make a dexterity save with the mage hand pulling on the twine?
Before I do that, I think for those of us who don't need to be so close, I mean, we may want to back up a little bit.
Back up a little bit. As far as you can, as
make
far as
a-
you need to.
You would be making a and you use your spell casting ability.
To try and fish up the...
Yeah, if you want to do that.
Yeah.
So the bardic inspiration would work then, because you'd be making a check.
Yes.
Oh, good.
I'll keep an eye on all these
Sorry, medication time.
other robed
Yes.
guys with
We'll
Carmen.
we should all recede back as far away as you can work your spell.
Well, a good 30 feet will be fine for me. Alright, so I'm rolling... natural 20, so then add my 8, add my blah blah blah, and she's wonderful.
Okay.
She's good at going down orifices.
The spectral hand, a little bit more clawed than her hand, reaches into its throat.
It's a very weird claw game.
That's when Brand notices the dancing lights had revealed that starry pattern above you.
Mm-hmm.
You noticed a scarab-like constellation in the sky.
Oh.
You see the fingers wrapping the twine, pulling up and up and up. Snags a little bit at one point. With a little bit of an extra tug, a well-preserved brass key dangles at the end of that twine.
A cylindrical key?
From what you can see, it seems cylindrical.
Nice,
well, you
nicely
didn't.
done.
Thank you. You didn't
Well
mention anything. You did about the thing, so she's just going to bring it forward and have it rest in her gloved hands.
No, I didn't.
Noodle.
All right.
No, the
Stream
scarab's
cat.
above us.
I was just
Stream
actually
cat.
just about
no.
to. All
World
right.
event.
What are you doing?
She's a world event.
Attack.
What does Kit
I am
do?
tripped.
She was attacking my mic.
Oh.
Sit.
thought-
Relax.
She thought it was hurting you. Uh-oh. I see the
The
peevish-
tail.
No, I noticed the peevish paw going.
Yeah. Okay.
Make a biscuit.
On my knee.
Yes, what did I tell you?
No, she's tenderizing meat for burgers.
Yeah, that's what she's doing. To serve, man.
Yes. Okay, so
All
she.
right, so while she's doing that, I'm looking at that scarab pattern that you mentioned.
It's stars arrayed in a constellation representing a scarab, and that seems to be what they are all.
Staring at.
Yep.
Well, I didn't. All right, you have that. I didn't want to distract you while you were pulling it out, but look,
It's very beautiful.
it forms the shape of a scarab.
Oh, well, it seems to be the motif around this entire
Definitely.
place.
Yeah.
Think about it. The Death Scarab's been in name and everything.
No Sigma.
No, this place is far removed from that name.
Oh. That's a shame.
Plus, does it predate Sigma?
Probably.
Stars are the stars, right?
Well, I forget what we had said. Does the city predate the wide belief of Sigmar?
Which possibly
The
'cause
OG Sigmar?
the make history checks actually.
16.
15.
11.
The entry 15 16s I'll allow.
She knows nothing of your god, it's fine.
This would predate the Empire by a while. Knowing the history of Sigmar would mean that it might predate Sigmar, or it might be contemporary to Sigmar, because Sigmar existed during what was known as the barbarian tribes era.
So you see,
And they referred to the barbarian tribes on the obelisk outside.
so it might even predate Sigmar. That's why there's no representation of him here.
There's a reason why they're all dead.
They're here. They seem to be worshipping the scarab.
That would seem to be the case.
Well, I mean, there is also a bit of a duality happening here. The mosaics earlier, everyone was happily enamored and worshipping, and then when I looked at it further, it was more of a hostile situation. It was more of like a domination.
Yes.
So,
Servile.
yes, and we also know that this place was not always controlled by the same people, so I don't know how much of this temple had its past rewritten, almost. There's a lot of information.
You still have your mage hand dangling there with the key over its head.
No!
Oh, you pulled it back.
Yeah,
and,
no,
and
I brought
okay,
it back.
Cool. All right.
Um,
So you're just standing in the second row.
well, we do have the key. Do we want to go into that map room?
Do you think it is safe, Carmen?
Maybe by now.
Well, let's. All right. So we're going to backtrack the way we came,
Buddy system, everyone.
the same exact way. Remember, walk exactly the same way we did before. Stick close to the wall.
She's ferreting the way the key into her bag.
Making the horseshoe walk around the outside of it.
Going back and then
Around the outside.
going
around the outside.
along the outside, over to the back down to the treasure room.
Okay, so before we go into the map room, everyone, if you have a scrap of fabric or something, maybe cover your
You're going to
mouth.
pass the map room before you go back to the treasure room, the
Yeah.
tributary room.
We might as well
Oh.
check it. So,
Yeah.
but before we do go in, we'll just take some precautions just in case there's anything else left in the air. We do remember what happened the last time you breathed something in.
Yes, that's very true. All right, so take a cloth out of my bag and wrap it around my face.
Kind of like pulls up this thing, like.
The room, what was kind of floating in the air before that Lanier saw, doesn't seem to be there. What was in the air might have settled. It's not like there's wind gusts that can carry things into areas.
Yeah.
And basically, whatever the spore's at will slowly descend in the air, being slightly more dense.
Is it clear?
It seems fair enough. I mean, delicate steps as we go through so as not to arouse it further, but...
Of course.
Carmen, you said you saw something behind the map before you...
No, I thought I saw something behind the map. It was black mold.
Surprise!
The black mold came out of the hole that you found.
Yes, if
Yeah.
you look. And she points at the tear away in the part of the map. There is, it's just a nice wall of a few undisturbed spore pods. But you can see the rippling,
They'll pop.
opened, popped, like blisters, pods. The ones undisturbed looking like little whiteheads on
Ew.
pitch black skin.
Let's go around that and to the door.
Well,
Yes.
it's not really an around, it's a straight...
Well,
Well-
we could be on the other side of the wall.
No, you can't, because there's chairs.
Oh, well, nope. Hold your breath.
You walk through the middle, basically.
But the lock wasn't. But the key isn't for this door. The key is for
No,
the.
but what else? There could be other things in there. This is such an opportunity to find information.
I know, but I thought you had said that something important must be behind that locked door.
Oh, I agree, but there might be more important things behind this other door. We need information if we want to get home. Unless you've come up with a plan.
No, I don't. All right, we'll go open the door then.
No stone left unturned.
Okay, so
Make a perception test if you are investigating the door.
y'all.
Yeah.
And that would be a 24.
As a 5. I'm not perceptive.
19, 20. 21 for Lanira, 14, I think 15 for Carmen.
Okay. What did Brent get?
24.
24. With the 24 and the 21, you notice that a similar mechanism to opening this door, a turnstile panel that pops in, revealing a lock on the inside. This one triangular,
Which won't fit this key.
but you still feel it's pickable. You also remember that last time darts flew out when you fucked up.
Would you like a helping hand?
Yes, that might be good. Please.
I will use guidance.
All right.
Lanira shuffles over to Carmen and
There
Everybody-
you go.
puts her body behind her shield and
Little-
looks around
just a
nervously
little-
like,
All right.
So like shoulder rub. Good luck.
Ah. All right. That will be.
And you roll a d4
Yes,
at that number.
Yes, I rolled a 1 on the d4. I rolled a 16. I rolled a 15. No, I rolled a 16. So that's 17 plus 23.
deft hands.
I helped.
Thank you very much.
With
I'm helping!
So that uses up a cantrip. So what?
with Nils
For
being
free. She uses
so
many times as
guiding.
more for free.
Okay.
he's a little bit more talkative today. It's reassuring. With that rush of exuberance, you get to work with your thieves' tools. And not only do you undo the lock, but you're able to bypass the trap and disable it all in one motion. You hear the stone release, bolting the door shut from the other side.
peering out from behind Carmen's shield. Is it safe? Did you...
So far it is. I got it unlocked, and I was able to disarm the trap from the lock.
Very
It should
good.
just open. I'll open it very slowly and cautiously.
The Scooby-Doo Puro.
Now I got the Scooby song in my head. Thank you very much. Dun, dun,
So you're going to open the door?
yes.
Okay. Door needs to be pulled to open it.
Put a sign on.
It shifts in on the other side, an ascending stair that loops back in on itself once in front of you, about half a floor up.
So it goes in and then goes back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, these stairs. All right. So these stairs are going up, apparently parallel with the upper part of the chamber.
So, is there a way out?
Well, I don't really know, but we could see if there's something up there. I mean, the stairs have already been proven quite dangerous, so maybe gingerly take a peer up.
All right.
Heading on up.
Well, first I'm sending in
The lights.
the lights.
Okay. Make perception test.
Okay. I'm sending in. Standard operating procedure from now on. I'm sending 2 lights near the floor and 2 just overhead.
Okay.
Not with a total of 8 altogether.
Looks clean.
All right. I can't be certain of anything right now. We're going to have to go in and take a closer look, I suppose. I'm going to go over to the stairs. I'm going to just be very cautious and look up the stairs.
You made your perception test already. That was the whole shebang.
That was for the whole room. All
Yep. You were looking into the stairs.
right. All right.
Alright, so you said it's clear?
I can't be sure.
Ugh.
I can't be 100% certain this time.
Let's not be stabbed again. You're feeling incompetent right now. She summons out her mage hand again and is just kind of like
Stabbing at the stairs.
doing like poking
Walking up it like
walking up
Thing.
the stair, but like pressing down a little bit, kind of just to be safe before they go forward.
Okay. The 5th step up, she the hand like slaps the stair, and you hear a click, and then what sounds like a roll, like rolling metal, and on 2 flywheels, a guillotine blade just drops and cuts the mage hand in half,
Hildebrand!
and then slowly starts to and just tick, 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 back
I
up
said
into
I
the
wasn't
ceiling.
sure.
You want to go and put your chalk on that one?
Very carefully.
Good luck.
I'll go to the side of the stairs.
And mark one on the wall.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. So there's still more stairs up, correct?
Once you turn around, yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
a tall staircase.
up to this point we're okay, so we can go a little bit closer and I'll extend the mage hand forward again.
You're just slapping stairs. Jesus.
Yeah, because now her paranoia has been rewarded. We're just gonna cautiously, as they're going up, staying back where they were sure it was safe, and then just kind of cat paw.
I need everybody to make dexterity checks.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay.
That's a -1. That's a.
Carmen
3.
has a natural 20.
Okay.
However, Lanier's gonna use her hummingbird ring.
Okay. To reroll.
No, you said it's an instant save.
Oh, it's an instant save. Yes, that's right. It gives you like
Otherwise, you would've
once
got a
per day,
4.
or how many? How many
believe
charges?
I believe it's a few charges.
Basically,
3 charges per day of
yeah.
auto dex saves on reaction.
Yeah, legend. It's basically dexterity, legendary resistance.
There's a big ol' heaping 3.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's what Nils has?
I got a 4 and my dex is -1.
Okay. What did Brand get?
23.
Really, really.
Brand is able to jump back to the stairs.
Why is he jumping backwards?
So is Lanira. So is Carmen.
Jumping to the stairs?
That you came up. Nils was a little distracted by the mechanism that unveils before you. The stairs that you get to like the 5th stair from you, like 2 stairs from the top, and you slap it. You hear a click again. And the entire set of stairs roll in and become a ramp.
No.
And that's when the flat platform that you were all standing on drops.
You guys all jumped.
Nils looks down to see the pit below. A unwelcoming darkness. Well, a very welcoming darkness, actually.
Oh, fuck.
Sometimes Carmen saves me by being near me. Could she have saved him by being near him? We're in the staircase.
That was a +2, although Carmen rolled
a natural
20.
Like
so I will allow her to grab him by the collar. I need her to make a strength check now.
Don't make me roll. I'm
No.
unlucky.
No,
You can do it! You are strong!
I'm gonna roll the blue one next time.
I'm being threatened right now.
All right.
Oh.
All right.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so a strength
so
check
sorry.
for Carmen.
No, the bardic inspiration is for you, though. So I have to give Carmen her own.
Whore, thank you. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
for Carmen.
Okay, so
What
Carmen.
about me?
You're a brick right now.
Oh, okay, wait. So 6, then 7, 8, 9. Then bardic inspiration is
D8.
what? A D8. Okay. No, I'm gonna
Here,
use
roll
this.
this.
No. I keep it to the set. So
Oh.
all right. So
Oh, that was an 8.
9, 10, 11, 12 plus 8.
20.
That's 20.
Meatwife saves from even beyond.
Unnatural 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, Carmen.
Let me have the
Carmen's
let me have the
hand-
inspiration.
Yes.
Go, we'll put that in my bin.
With a raspy no, her hand darts out and chokes
I grab her belt.
the squire
As much good as it's going to do.
and she
in my
grabs
mouth.
on to his mantle and pulls him up, dragging him onto the step. You hear
What's that?
and then the floor that had dropped away pulls right back up. Nils actually able to get his feet on the rising floor to kind of aid Carmen as she deadlifts
Oh my god.
his whole body out of the hole and onto the stairs.
That would have been so bad if that was you and me trying to grab him.
Oh yes. Oh.
Check all the stairs.
She did. She hit the stair and it went.
Well, Hildebrand said it looked okay.
I said
I did
wasn't
not believe
sure.
him.
You
I said I
activated the
wasn't
trap.
sure.
Hildebrand said it was okay. I did not trust the man.
I didn't say that meant for the whole staircase. The one check was for the first set. You guys just went right to slapping stairs.
First time it's my fault. The second time, this is not my fault. Thank you, Carmen.
All right, so we know which stair.
Pay attention.
I'm sorry. It's very confusing in this place. I'm sorry.
So we know which step to avoid.
It's not good.
The 5th step up, 2 from the bottom.
On the wall next to the step, not on the step.
Would you like to slap the last 2 steps?
Wait,
She's like waiting for it. She's like, Hildebrand, either you
I'm
check.
going to check. Give me some assistance, please, Nils.
Sure. Some more guidance. Yes. Let's get those kinks out.
Okay.
If everybody's looking together,
21.
all right.
Did you get the? Oh, did you do the 1d4?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
I needed
okay.
that just to make sure.
You see the pressure plate mechanism for the step that caused the slip and slide action, but you also notice that the next two
The next two
steps
two.
are clear,
are clear.
and then there's the door at the top.
All right, so I find the one that did the trigger for the
Slide.
slide as well as for the pit.
Well, the pit was all the way.
The pit and the slide are the same
It was
mechanism.
like
Oh, the same
complex,
mechanism. All right,
yeah.
so now I see. All right, so now the last two steps are clear. I'm
Are you-
positive.
you're
I am positive.
You're so positive you'll be the first to step on them,
Yes.
Please, after you.
And I go.
Okay.
right? Okay.
What kind of
Stepping
door
up and
is-
avoiding the triggering step, you get to the top, and you notice that this door has it's a metal. No, I'm sorry, not a metal. It is a stone bolt recessed into the thick door that has an opening that you can stick your hand in and push the bolt out, unlocking it. Think of it like one of those slide locks that you get on a door,
Yeah.
but it's on your side.
deadbolt.
The locking mechanism deadbolt is on your side.
All right, so up and over.
The door kind of swings free a little bit as you do that.
All right.
Why would they have the lock on this side?
Putting the
The lights in.
lights in. It is another straight hallway like room with, instead of many chairs on the side, one chair and another map. This one seems in much worse condition, and a door at the end of the room.
You said you were good at reading the map?
Carmen's a bit more adequate at copying them down, but I might be able to take a look at it and see if it's any different from the one in the hallway prior, without touching it. She kind of is observing the map, seeing its differences.
There are slight differences. The map below was of a grand kingdom splayed out like an actual geographical area. This one seems a little bit more. It's more. It's more direct. But it's less of a location, and it seems more of a map of conquests. As you begin to look more and you see, it's less about where it happened and more about what was collected. Slaves, mercantiles, textiles, agricultural claims, mineral claims, treasures that were brought back to Karita Amen.
We're seeing a distinct dichotomy of views here.
As I said, I mean, the map itself is interesting, but there's also another door at the end. I think we all decided that going down was better, but it's hard to abandon possibilities.
I mean, this path is also.
There's no openings in this room, like looking down into the main room, is there?
Not that you can. It's just a straight. It's a straight hallway, almost exact to the one that you walk through with the chairs.
Mm-hmm.
But this one only has one chair. The map is more of a map of conquests, and there's a singular door at the other end of the hall. No viewports, no view holes.
Okay. Same thing. 2 and 2. I'm going to go through it.
Oh, you're opening the door? Or you're checking the room.
Checking the room.
Okay.
So lights.
Nils, Carmen, your thoughts?
23.
Do you think it's better to keep going further and inspecting the rest of the facility, or do you think continuing our path down would be best? Also, if she's in chat, she could say up or down.
Well, I was not sure. I mean, this path to get here, it also required a key.
Let's keep checking up.
Do I see anything with the 23?
I
Okay.
want to
I just think we
take
should...
her that conversation for a second because they literally asked her a question. In the room,
Yes.
you see nothing untoward about the map. It's in disarray. It's a little bit shabbier than the one in the room below, but this one, it doesn't seem to be as corroded. Like the mold hasn't made its way up here. You can see holes just leading right onto limestone on the other side. It's the chair that draws your attention. You see a pressure plate or a pressure switch of some kind in the seat.
Thanks.
And you notice a small button on the underside of the chair, as well as a pair of nozzles on the high back that seem to loop down, that come out of the mouths of a pair of alligators, pointing down at whoever sits in said chair.
Well, I still think we should keep going.
Do not touch the chair. Do not go near the chair.
See, I was going to take a nice nap in it.
No, and I explain. I tell everything that you just said.
Okay.
So it's a trap chair.
Possibly.
So.
Or it could fetch them drink. Who knows?
I don't want to drink from this place. Can we just keep going and ignore the chair?
Well, no, we'll ignore the chair, and we'll go over to the door. Is it locked?
Well, are you gonna just walk? Okay, so you walk through the room over to the other door.
Yes.
Okay. As you're walking past, you notice why this map hasn't reacted the same way the map did down below. See, the map down below was made with mostly plant fibers. It's decaying. This is hide. And you realize that the map of conquest is made on the backs of those that had been conquered.
Oh.
It is squares of human dorsal flesh, stretched
It's a people map.
and stitched. You even notice. Make history checks.
I don't like the
Okay.
smile.
I was scared. I thought it was gonna be a corruption check for some reason. Hey, not bad.
16.
So history. So that's 18.
11 for Lanira. Carmen's got a 1. One.
Perception?
Wait.
Oh, history.
She doesn't have any history.
Oh, but
Minus
it's an
one.
intelligence. It's a -1.
For Carmen.
My heroes.
She gives us like fake news.
Acid.
What? See, break him.
What did acid?
Acid!
See, break him.
Uh-oh.
Acid!
What did acid do?
What did acid do?
Just donated 10,000 bits!
Oh, hearts. Oh, the hearts. Oh,
The fuck?
that looks like a full board to me.
The board! Yes!
The board.
And that finishes
This
Yeah.
unknown
giveaway bar.
that we don't know what.
We still hadn't figured out what the fuck we were giving away.
I saw this.
Oh, that was unfortunately from the last.
Oh, okay.
That was why we weren't able to upgrade his computer.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I'm inside.
Oh, he broken.
We got 3 more minutes till break.
No, we're breaking now.
We're breaking
Breaking
now.
now.
We've
We're
broken
He's
now.
broke.
We've
So it
broken
is
now.
now
I'll
the
tell you
break-
what
the
the
break.
fuck you figured out after the break.
Smart.
Yay!
Okay.
I don't have Twitch on my phone.
You could use mine.
So if I remember correctly,
We are going to
several
the
of you,
door.
at least
Meet
Lanira
wall.
and Brand, both
I got-
rolled fairly well on their history checks.
And I got.
Yes.
the
You got like a
19.
16?
19?
You got a 19?
Yeah.
No, I think Shayna and Carmen and Lanira rolled shit.
Okay. Well, Brand and Nils being the two educated humans of the group recognize the tribal tattoos fading from some of the flesh. You notice Ulrican runes. Runes from Middenheim. Those who worship the Winter Wolf. Etched on some of these.
How did some of them get all the way out here?
Perhaps they came through a similar gateway that we found ourselves going through.
Perhaps.
Now they realized that it was human flesh too.
Everybody realized it was human flesh.
We tell Lanira and Carmen the extra information.
I mean, I'm a little more familiar with like the Nordland region, but I don't know these tattoos myself.
It's their tribes identification. Like they each have their own unique markings.
The Winter Wolf.
Yes.
What god?
Some of them use it to identify how many kills they've had.
I think very much Ulrich was actually, for the more religious, Ulrich was the god that Sigmar worshipped.
Oh.
Another hammer-wielding northern god with a penchant for storms. But his symbol was a winter wolf.
So Sigmar himself worshipped the Winter Wolf.
Yes.
Yes.
Gods worshipping gods and it's a bunch of shit.
No, that makes perfect sense.
That makes sense. It's just then. I will not criticize your faith. It clearly strengthens both you and Carmen. And if that is all the purpose it has, then I am thankful for it. But it is not for me.
So you're missing out then.
It's either that. Well, looking at the map,
Yes.
there's nothing that depicts any sort of. Is it a further reaching map than the map downstairs? Like,
You
can
rolled
we-
well enough on your history check. It expands. It covers all of the expanse that the one downstairs does. It's just this one focuses more upon what was claimed and showing depictions in
There's
and
no areas-
cartouche of different.
There's no areas that we would recognize as parts of the Empire, say.
Not really, but you do see that there's a... To your left, you can see that there are barbarian tribes depicted that are a hell of a lot paler than those in other portions of the map, so to speak. And you can see they're drawn with their blue eyes and blonde hair and blue lines on their skin.
It looks like they would just at the threshold of branching further into the Empire, what we call the Empire today.
So they didn't reach terribly far north. I mean, that would explain why we aren't as familiar culturally with them.
True.
With the history check that you had as well, you would know that Ulrich's worship was supremely prevalent in all of the barbaric tribes, as was most of what is considered the old pantheon, which is still accepted and worshipped and has their own priesthoods, each and every one of them. Tal, Rhea, Renald, Ulrich, Mor, the god of death, all of them, each still has their fervent worshippers and priesthoods, but they all give due deference to the god of man, that is Sigmar. So however far they got to a place that was close enough that contained barbaric humans that worshipped those old gods. The North met the South. And in this case, it seems like the South won very well.
Y'all.
I mean, should we be concerned for his empire?
This is so far back in the past. I don't know if we're in the past as well. Although, considering how dead everything is.
Well, except, you know, the dead sometimes.
The dead being the most animate in this place, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I have dead skin masks stuck in my head.
But this map seems more up to date than the one prior. So if we keep going further, maybe we will find another updated iteration.
It's
anything,
possible.
It's
Before we go any further, can we just go and check down at the door in the treasure room?
Oh yeah. Oh.
But we're right here.
Yeah, the door is right there.
You did such a good job picking this lock filter.
Yeah, I can help you again. You still got a kink on the other side of your shoulder.
I really want to go and check that other door.
Why are you so insistent?
Console yourself with that hunk of amethyst.
Let's just open the door.
All right,
And
fine.
then we'll go back down.
Is the door locked or?
No.
So
Opens very
it's-
easily.
Is it the same as?
There is no
coming in?
bolt.
All right, so open it up.
Pushing the large stone door in, you find yourself in the salon room with the checkerboard floor and the benches
Are scorpions still around?
And the big
and the
foot.
brazier and the giant stone foot.
And we're from on the other. And we're
And
on,
you're looking at it from the south wall.
So we just so
The stairs leading down on your right. The door you entered in, the corridor you entered in on your left.
Huh.
But where are the scorpions?
Scorpions are gone.
Okay.
It's been long enough that they...
Did we get turned around somehow?
Oh, well, yeah, we went up. This entire time we had been going down. Had we
Yeah, go
just
down,
taken this
then go
door
up.
before we noped out from the scorpions, I think we kind of figured out the lay of the...
All right, is this the only other door in this room?
No,
No.
there was 3 other doors as well as this one in the salon room that you all decided to say nope and run right
To be
past
fair,
when there were scorpions.
Right.
Considering how good you did with a piece of floor, I don't think it was too much of a stretch to leave this room when it was filling with scorpions.
Oh, don't shit on the boy.
I'm not, but I'm saying.
5 minutes into this fucking hellhole, and you took it to the ankle too. So don't.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I didn't say I didn't. But I'm just saying, we couldn't help but be cautious with all those scorpions.
There's so much it did for the rest of this place.
Those are valid and true. All right. Well, you did want to check out the room.
Here we are.
No, this isn't the room where the lock was.
No. The treasure room.
Yes.
Do you want to go back
fine.
down and finally appease that curiosity?
How do you go down?
All right. We'll go back. Well, we'll go back. We'll go down to the stairs that we used before.
You've used both stairs
Yeah.
before.
Do you remember the
stairs?
traps on both routes?
Yes, we didn't. We went down safely. I marked how
Yes.
we went down
Okay.
on these stairs.
The
These
main,
stairs,
you're talking about taking the main stairs down.
the ones that we took the first time to go down.
The ones on the east wall.
Yes.
Okay.
Where we said nope, and ran down the stairs. And I
Gotcha.
checked as we went. So I should see my mark and everything. I know where they are.
Walking down, you find his chalk X on the false step, the crumbly clay step that would have impaled feet. And you enter back into the grand hall with the blaring sun on its ceiling.
That thing is terribly unnerving. The fact that both your attacks and mine did nothing to it just minorly taunts me. But we should go see where that key leads us.
All right. So once more, we'll hug the wall.
Shimmy,
Okay.
shimmy, shimmy.
Heading north to the northern wall, shimmying along the wall, avoiding the X marked spot where the
Yes.
where the
Hug the wall.
spike had impaled Nils's
You know.
ankle.
I'm so good.
All right.
So good.
So good.
Roll it back a little bit, like that. There you go. Now it looks right. You end up back into the tributary room. Everything is as you left it, including the lock panel door left open and the poison needles clattered on the ground on the wall opposite.
Hold on, I'll get the key for you. She pulls back the saddlebag, ferrets through it. You hear a little jingle of the bell that's in there, and she hands him the key.
Thank you.
There you go.
Will this fit this slot?
It very much looks like.
I'm going to just double check.
Perception, okay.
And that would be a total of 19.
You're fairly sure this lock
Where is the
is
general?
absolutely safe
He
now.
has
think
like
so.
jack of
Oh, that
all
was it.
trades.
Oh, yeah,
I have Jack of all trades, plus I have the thieves.
But
too
I'm also
themselves.
slightly blind.
You're
I thought that
fairly
was a
sure
13,
also
not
the
16.
mechanism of this trap would be impossible to reset without literally going and picking up all the little needles and putting them back in all the little holes and then repressurizing them.
All
So-
right, so the trap is spent. There's nothing else that's trapped in the lock.
From what you can see,
All
there's
right,
nothing left.
put the key in.
Open the door.
Slides in with that stone on metal scrape. And once you feel it clunk at the end, you turn it over, and you hear that sound, that sliding stone on stone sound as mechanisms inside the wall do their work. And as you go to pull the key out, find you can't. Make a dex check.
Oh,
Oh.
natural 20.
You're able to pull your finger out of the key
The
loop.
key was trapped.
the key loop before it is sucked into the wall.
Oh.
Of course.
It
There's
took
another
my,
trap.
It took my ATM card.
And a small door slides over where the lock was. And the door
So one way only.
opens in towards you.
So the door does open. All right. Lights.
Hands.
And
Hands.
Hands?
Thousands and thousands of hands. A long corridor extends before you. Narrower than most. Perhaps just maybe 4 feet wide.
no, that's not why.
The walls are surprisingly plain with no design or paint. Just bare limestone. The floor is granite. The ceiling shows the night with no stars. The sole decoration. Hands. Hands emerge from both walls of all colors and sizes.
These flesh hands.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
What level
They
of
look
decomposition?
healthy.
Are they moving?
Small metal rings cover where the flesh meets the wall, so you're never actually able to see. Kind of like a circular L bracket. A cuff that comes up the arm, the wrist a little bit, and the other flattens out in a ring around it.
Oh well.
Nope.
Carmen just said nope.
Nope.
But maybe hear me out, Carmen. Let me just. Her eyes just widen into pools of blackness, and silver pinpricks spark out, and she's just like, "I just want to."
Necromancy.
Is that Carmen?
So much necromancy.
So,
Wow, that doesn't sound even more ominous when she says it like that.
was that Carmen or something else?
No,
that's Carmen
that was
saying.
me telling Lanira what she saw through her
It's
detect
not
magic.
just a general fog. It's
Each hand is a shard of necromancy.
looking down around the hallway. It's not just the hands. Is there anything else in here that seems to resonate?
Nothing else. It's a long hall. You can see his lights. And
Look back into the room, or did you already do that before?
No. She's still staring. Lena is staring down that hall. Hildebrand, send the lights further down the hall.
All right. Same as before. 2 closer to the floor, 2 overhead.
a 60-foot long, 10-foot tall hallway. Each hand within 4 inches of each other. From floor to ceiling. Reaching in all together. Just stuck in positions of
Are they helping hands?
Gonna make that pun. I was gonna make that
I
pun
don't know.
earlier.
Hello there, how are you? I don't know.
I would like to communicate with the hands. Like,
The Hildebrand, maybe you can. What happens if you put the light by the hands? Do you think they will do something?
I do not know.
I think this hallway is at the very least, more crafted, more active.
Make perception tests.
Okay, come
This
on.
is all the readily available information about
New
this
dice,
room.
New dice. Come on.
18.
That is.
Natural 20 for Linnea.
Okay.
That is, I don't get that perception. That's only a 9.
Yep, Nils ain't paying attention to shit.
He's
H4
trying.
harming.
He's
Listen,
trying.
the two of them are like,
They're just shaking their heads like
we're not doing
motherfuckers need Sigma.
Yeah.
Need Sigma. That's
Zed
go to
dead
church.
No.
I mean, the putties, his fingers.
She's noping this room faster than
She's
the
saying
scorpions.
nope for each hand. Just nope.
Nope.
I'll count the other side, Carmen. Nope. Nope.
That's teamwork.
The two observant ones notice a small cartouche on the floor in front of you.
Here lies
Make a history check if you want to try and translate the
Oh,
cartouche.
yes.
Oh yeah, room with hands. Let's find out what they say.
19. So she pulls out the rubbings that she had made that Rosetta Stone from and is trying to figure it out, like looking back and forth.
It's disturbing how comedic this cartouche is.
comedic.
It's seems satirical. And here, hands shall reach across my empire. The width and breadth of my lands brought together in a firm handshake.
There would be enough room to grab one hand on each side, yes?
Linear and reader, it's with like this look of and lets them know what it read.
So much for some. What's the word?
Is there a doorway
subtle.
at the end of the hallway?
Very,
No.
very
Yeah.
subtle.
It's a stairway down.
It's a stairway down.
I mean,
It's a stairway down. We have to go down to get out. So this is obviously a
that's
way
generally
out.
the hope that has been keeping us from sitting in a corner, rocking back and forth, and just dying slowly. Yes, that's what we're operating on. But
No, Barry, it doesn't say send nudes.
Send
Linear
more
just-
paramedics.
let me out.
Linear.
A handshake. It's asking for a handshake.
Maybe try your magic hand.
More hands. The boy wants more hands.
No, well, no. That's. I just mean I don't want to put my hand on the hand.
That's very true.
I don't know if it will work, but I'd rather
I
not.
can't help it, I'm sorry.
It's fair.
Are you okay, Hildeband?
It's just the way she said it. It's just so... It amused me to no end. Well done, my lady.
Alright,
Well
I'm sure
done.
you'll like a lovely song about this later.
Oh, I've already started it in my mind.
Bringing forth that Talon's ethereal hand, she's like, "You want me to instigate the wall of hands?"
I'm not sure.
Use it to shake a hand.
Well, at the very least, it should let us know if it's a Jeff Hall. So she just kind of reaches the hand out to caress one of the various hands along the wall.
When it touches it, it like reaches, but not like a clawing grasp, but more like
An open hand?
no,
Who's there? What's that?
like somebody searching, groping in darkness, trying to find anybody. It's not a claw, it's not a grip, it's a loping, gentle grope.
Like a blind person trying to find their way. Oh,
mean, it's-
bloody hell.
Doesn't I mean, what would be a horrific thought is we see hands, but are the hands connected elsewhere?
I do not know. I mean, do you want to try to touch the hand? It seems to be reaching out.
I'm not a very touchy-feely kind of gal.
No, I
But
mean-
Hildebrand, I hear, is
All
all
right.
about it.
Well, I don't know if that's a good idea.
All right.
I mean,
I would probably have Carmine
If anything,
be
if
kind of
anything
near
goes,
him
if
just
anything
in
goes,
case.
if anything goes wrong, tell Fanny I said I'm sorry I couldn't keep my promise
no,
and come
don't,
back.
No, don't say that, Hildy.
I reach out one hand
Oh.
to this side.
And grab a hand.
Yes.
As soon as it grabs you,
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
you're on a battlefield.
I'm on a battlefield.
You're on a battlefield. You're standing with your unit. You are staring down the assembled armies of a great kingdom. You and your small band stand in defiance. Part of a paltry force. You left your wife at home to take care of your child. You told them both goodbye. For you didn't know if you would come home from challenging one who was known as the Death Scarab. The battle flashes by in an instant. Blood is everywhere. Each and every one of your close friends who you trained with slaughtered to the man. Left standing alone, you are brought forth before a mighty general. Atop a palanquin carried by 30 slaves. It is so large. On top of that palanquin sits a man wearing the most elaborate headdress you have ever seen in your life. You had heard of these princes of the Nehekaran Empire, but you'd never seen one before. Next to him, standing on the palanquin, a leader of the mortuary priesthood, whom you turn over your dead to and teach all of the great afterlife that awaits each and every one of them. Everyone else is dead. You are chosen to be a symbol. You are taken back. Not bound in a chariot, though. You are fed. You are made healthy. And then the mortuary priest takes you to a grand edifice. Doors you had never seen before in your life. 30-foot tall stone doors flanked by the statues of the gods. Passing by, you see barks under construction. Slaves being placed at the oars. Up a grand causeway. You're brought inside. Taken down. Deeper and deeper. You pass through rooms under construction until you were brought to a single chamber with scales. Grand golden scales. Scales that upon one side sits empty. On the other side stands a man with a feather.
I'm sorry?
A man with a feather stands waiting at the other side. There's a sharp pain from behind. Ribs cracking. Flesh opening. And the rhythm that you had heard in your ears since you took your first breath stops. With the last breath in your body, your heart is placed on the scales. On the other side the feather is dropped. The scales bounce side to side for a few moments before they even out. And as the darkness starts to tunnel vision around you, you see a smiling face. The mortuary priest, clamping a brace around your forearm and raising a khopesh high. And then you're standing back in that hallway. Please make a willpower test. It's a corruption test.
Oh.
That was awesome. I love the feather.
What is it with?
Willpower?
It's a wisdom check, sorry.
Wrong system.
Wrong. They reference willpower, so I'm literally looking at willpower, and I
Yeah.
use willpower in my system,
Yeah.
and I like it in other systems.
Yeah.
13.
Okay. You stave off the waves of necromantic corruption and instinctually release your hand before you can continue your little test.
So was that like in an instant sort of thing?
And he just grabbed onto it, went, "Ah!" And then and pulled his hand away.
I explained to them everything that I witnessed.
The 2 years of life you just lived.
Okay, so we don't want to touch the hands. I kind of figured. Okay.
My original intent was to try to bridge them.
So you want to grab 2 hands?
That's what I was going to do. Now I'm not so sure.
Why don't we just not touch any hands and just go
There's
down
enough
the
space
hall?
to walk down the middle and not touch any hands.
I think Nils
They're
is on.
very close, though.
So single file.
Sideways,
Crab
sideways.
walk.
I'm just
All right.
going
Carefully
back
looking at the
crab
floor.
walking.
Okay.
Else you wants to go first?
He's the one with the best perception and check traps
Yes.
kind of test.
Yes, yes.
But I'm with you. I think crab walk would be fantastic.
16.
You don't see any traps.
All right. Am I at least a little bit more confident this time?
Yeah, you're pretty confident.
Okay. We should be good going through.
All right.
As you start walking down sideways, as soon as you make any kind of vibration in the floor close enough to the hands, they start groping.
But they can't extend
They can't
further than
extend
the
any
wall.
further than where they are. Occasionally you can feel your clothes getting tugged, but there's no strength to the grip within the hands. They just kind of, as soon as a pressure starts being exerted that pulls past, it just kind of releases and goes back to
Neutrality.
of a sad reach. You walk 60 feet like this, hands nearly caressing your face. You can smell oils on their hands. You can see dirt under their fingernails. You can see cat scratches and scars on those who own pets. You can see some missing fingers. And I need everybody to make corruption tests at the end of the hall.
Oh boy.
What's the...
It's a wisdom check.
Now.
Well,
Carmen,
I definitely get something. I rolled a
Carmen
1.
Oh.
is near us, so we all get +2.
You get 2.
Get +2. I got a 2.
Oh, you get a +2, but the roll being a 1 gives you 2 points.
Oh no.
Three.
That means I've taken. That means.
Oh, no.
I've taken
But I have
6
saving
now.
throws. So
I also have saving throws.
Doesn't matter until you reach your wisdom score. Be
Oh,
aware.
So
I got 3, then +2 from Carmen.
yes.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
Yeah, we're both in the single digits here. However, Carmen has,
Everyone's in the single digits except Carmen.
except for Carmen who rolled a 10.
So does she get her own
Anybody who
+2?
rolled under 10 Grand total takes a point of corruption.
Okay.
I don't even know where to put that.
Okay, so,
This isn't really chaos
This is his
exerting it
first-
over you. This is more
your
Madness.
first corruption point.
madness.
No. What a-
This is more insanity.
Oh, it's not good for my boy.
Nils has never felt like this before. Each and every hand you passed, you felt as though it was a life that might have been worth saving at some time. Their freshness making it feel even more, even in this place of death, how healthy these hands are. It feels as though you should be able to help them. But you know you can't. Carmen shakes her head disappointingly at the end of the hall. You all disappoint me.
Oh, did she just say that?
Yeah.
Question, DM.
Yeah, sure.
Since I just took 2, am I running back to the treasure room?
No,
Okay.
no. Like I said,
It's not really.
bout
it's-
of madness only comes about when you are over your wisdom score. Full score, not ability modifier. Full score.
Okay.
Oh, it's here. I think it's
You're
why.
just fucking with that mic hard.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I think because it sits weird, it's like hitting the back for you? Is that what that
No,
was?
I'm trying to not lean too far
Okay.
back. Is this mic still okay, placement wise?
The mic's okay. It's just that every time you start
know,
fucking
I-
with it, you're just making clankety
I know,
clank,
it's
clank,
like
clank.
just like digging
Ambiance,
into my
damn
shoulder
it.
a little bit.
Battlefield sounds.
Break through the pain.
Right, because we can't run the soundscape.
No, we can. They
At
didn't
the end of
have
the hall-
anything terribly Egyptian today.
Oh.
At the end of the hall, the stairs lead down. About half a flight, and then loop back around on themselves. Another landing, and then it cuts back in.
Hey.
As you all take a moment to breathe after your harrowing experience of
Except for Carmen.
a Mad King's Jollies? A room made of hands from his conquests that he made as a joke? A third map room, if you will? You stand at the top of the stairs. What would you like to do? The dancing lights still providing their light.
Yep. I charge them up again because they're probably it's a cantrip.
I
so-
assume that
You're sustaining.
you're sustaining it as
Yeah.
you go until you start casting concentration spells.
Yeah.
Because dancing lights, I think, might be a concentration spell. Check.
So, where haven't we gone? There's
No, they last up to a minute.
Savoom.
Okay, so just at the end of every minute, you just
blah.
spark them back
Savoom
up.
in the
Yep.
the treasure room. The one that Hildebrand wants to go to.
A little bit louder, by the way.
What?
Oh, I think we still have the treasure room.
This
we want?
This is-
Oh.
the door. This is the door from the treasure room.
Right.
So, I mean, we would continue further, but obviously we're going to probably ask Hildebrand to do his best to not lead us into a death trap.
Could I impress upon you to assist me a little bit, my boy?
Ah, yes. Guidance. Ooh.
Oh, I don't even think the guidance will help. Well, 10.
Pretty confident it's clear.
Okay.
What area is clear?
The stairs.
All right. The
Alright.
first section of stairs.
Okay.
First section of stairs, you're confident are
Is
clear.
this new stairs?
Yes, we're
Okay.
going. Is this wide enough for Carmen to be walking with Hildebrand at this point? And
Side by side?
taking more points so that if he does have to,
Yeah, could.
avoid
Yeah.
something dicey, he has a friend.
So then that would be a 12 then total.
Okay.
on the roll.
Still confident.
So it's Hildebrand and Carmen,
Mhm.
Nils and Lanira as we go forward.
All right, when we get down to the
You take each step,
gingerly.
gingerly stepping. You hear a click. And you realize it was a loose stone skittering out from underneath your
yeah.
and bouncing off the wall. Everyone holds their breath for but a moment as it bounces down the stairs and rolls away.
And go down to the first landing.
You make it to the first landing without incident.
One more time. 17 this time.
You look down the stairs, the dancing lights illuminating it all. You're fairly sure. No traps here.
All right, we'll still go gingerly down.
So this area.
Slowly I turn, step by step, inch by... Okay. Arriving.
Well, at least this area seems less precarious.
Well, it doesn't have hands, which is
I think any
an
area
improvement.
without
You head down the next set of
Hands is better.
stairs, and you find that the GM has to go use the restroom quickly. It's not a door in front of you. There's a door on your right.
I mean, between the shifting mosaic, that hallway with the hands, I mean, it's not unusual for royalty to display their power in maybe a morally questionable way. Certainly, where I am from, there is a Mad King himself. It's not unusual, but it's not someone you would want to meet up with.
No, of course not. I mean, from the way he made it seem, he made it like a joke. These hands, innocent people.
I mean, I'm very curious. You said like there was a feather and the scaling. So this was ceremonial for them in a sense.
Yes.
How could a feather weigh as much as a heart? That doesn't add up.
I'm sure it has much to do with the necromancy that they employ. Think about it.
I think it's something along the lines of like how worthy the soul is. I believe I recall from a book I read.
Well, earlier in the chambers, there was mention of worth of being or character or some aspect I wasn't able to fully understand. Speed learning a dead language is a unique task I wasn't prepared for today, but that does seem to line up. It's exciting to learn about a new culture, but this was not maybe how I wanted to go about doing it.
Yeah, not a very pleasant culture, and I prefer to read about it than experience it myself.
This room, this door, is a little bit different than the other ones. There's a vertical handle. The stone around the handle is separated from the rest of the door itself.
So in other words, it's a twist. What a twist! Check for traps.
Oh,
You're good.
Is there any writing around this door?
Everything's perfectly fine! Little boy with the sword, could you put it through my head, please?
Did you roll another one?
Yes.
Fantastic.
There, you have your revenge for last week. Are you happy now?
are you suggesting I open the door?
No, I'll do it.
All right.
I got it. Don't worry.
I turn the handle.
And your hand is removed. No. There's a click.
Of course.
And the door slides open nice and easy. But not on a swing. It kind of moves back towards you. And you're able to push it to the side. Kind of revealing what might have been a hidden location before. The walls of the small room are covered with images of Karataman.
Of
Karataman, the death scarab,
okay, right.
bowing before the gods, who sit in judgment of him. In the room's center, filling most of the space, stands a massive set of golden scales.
So I know exactly what this is.
One side is heavily weighted with gold bars and coins and gems. The other is empty, yet somehow the scales remain balanced.
Don't touch the scales.
Make willpower. Make a wisdom check.
Oh, damn! 14.
You're able to resist the urge, that dragon sickness, that pull of Slanesh. But you're able to resist. You don't need that money. Nope. It's probably bad anyway.
It would be bad.
And your little light.
Yes, is there anything else in here?
That's what dominates the room.
The mosaic and the scales themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other doors.
There is a door, I'm sorry, to your right.
Is there any writing on the wall? Any depictions other than?
Oh, that's the depictions all,
Okay.
and it's all the gods circled around the room with him in supplication before all of them.
Why don't you give this a better viewing, considering how the other picture looked to you when you gave it a better viewing?
It's fair enough. I can't say I'm not curious. And she has her eyes envelop again in the silver and blackness and gives another look over.
He's no longer kneeling in supplication. The gods are standing with spears drawn and pointed at him, and he's standing defiant with a fist clenched in the air.
Well,
Many dead at his feet.
I think the story continues in a fashion similar to what we've seen so far. I think the duality of this place is just on display throughout this entire time. There's nothing here that speaks to me in terms of an item or traps, but that's more your brain. And the scale, looking at it, does it have anything, does it stand out? Or is this just the fog, the normal fog?
Just the normal fog. It feels it carries a metaphysical weight, maybe one that you would feel from something that people had faith in, but nothing particularly arcane.
14 on perception check, looking at the scale.
You notice that there is a head of an animal atop the scales. It's a jackal's head.
Was it the same on the top of the scale in the vision?
Mm-hmm.
This is the scale
This
in the
is
vision.
the room.
This is the
from
room.
The vision, yes.
I mean, does she know the jackal's often a representation of a death god?
Make a history check.
Thank you. 13.
You've seen enough references to be able to pick him out. This is Joff. DJAF. God of Death.
Sorry.
Not Jeff.
The flamingo in the abandoned building. Oh, God. Guardian of the Death Realm. Yeah, I'm sorry. Flamingos.
He's usually depicted as a tall, well-muscled man with a jackal's head. He can appear as large as he can also appear as a large but otherwise normal-looking jackal as well.
I know that Nils, Carmen, this is not what you would necessarily agree on, but there is something admirable about the defiance he shows to the dogma of his gods. Obviously, he has taken it to a place, and I am not saying I am going to go build a hallway of limbs. So please, don't take it that way. But his mindset is that of defiance and
death.
Well, I think that might be a byproduct of his...
The god closest to him that he is defying with a fist is Jaff.
Yeah.
So he's defying death.
Well, a necromancer.
And everyone else. Is there a representation of Renault there?
Nope.
Oh, this is not...
Their gods.
Oh, their gods. Oh, this is not against the...
Oh, okay.
No, it's their gods.
He's defying his own deities.
Remember, Joff. Jeff is the god of biscuits.
But also cheeses?
No.
Oh. He almost had a faithful servant in
Steve, the
me.
god of hairdos. That's the other one.
So what? Just keep going. I don't
think so.
I don't quite understand how this scale works.
I don't think we should be touching this scale at all.
Yes.
All.
Didn't you say in that vision you had? Did you see a scale?
Yes, I saw a scale, but it was used as a vessel of death. They took the heart of the individual. Well, in this case, the vision was to represent as if it were happening to me directly. They took this person's whose hand that was. They took his beating heart and placed it in the scale to approximate its worth of whether or not it was a heavy heart or a light heart with the feather. So it has to do with death. So I think if we were to touch anything in that other tray, there would be much death coming down.
Much death.
Very much death.
Get out of my head.
Let's not do that.
Bringing much death.
No.
Much death, not good.
Looking with our eyes and not with our hands, we should maybe continue on.
Continuing to the door.
Is this other door locked?
You're gonna jiggle the old handle there?
No, I'm just looking. Is it locked?
From what you can see, no.
All right. 16.
On a perception test?
Perception test.
There's a handle. You can see it is coated in something, and there's small hair-like ridges on the handle. Almost as though as if you'd brought a spider's leg up to your eye and inspected it.
Oh, no. No. How about no? No.
What are you going on about?
Calm down. You're scaring me a bit.
Is it trapped?
It's fuzzy.
Mold.
I don't know if it's, is it mold?
No.
It's hair.
It's hairs. Well, from what you can see, since you realize that you start to take a little bit of a closer look, it's more like spines. Thin, almost imperceptible spines.
Okay, so obviously, if you were to take the handle, you'd get stuck with something not pleasant.
Could I use my...
Mage hand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, okay.
Everybody stand back.
Yeah, we all like go back to the other side of the room,
Yes.
and she casts it forward.
As the hand grips the handle, you can see in its semi-translucent form, you can see green viscous fluids start to drip under the pressure of the hand and out from under its grasp and drip down the handle into the floor. Nope.
Using it
No hiss, but you just see it. You can see it just dripping.
Using the mage hand, am I able to kind of slip it off of the handle?
Any kind of... How are you doing that again?
I want to slip off the handle, like
Like that?
yeah.
Like that? Just like that. Just like that. Don't neglect the handles. I mean,
No.
all right.
Do I have another mage hand?
No.
Only one.
Only one.
I got a one-handed the entire time.
You have to one hand it the entire time. No spare. Good night, everybody. Yes, you are able to
Clean it of the...
not really, but you snap off a few of them maybe.
Ow!
Stop it, we're done. But you could open.
Oh, then yes.
Yes, you
Open
can
the
use the door, the
I was
hand
just
to open
going,
the door.
I didn't know if it was enough pressure because I know it is limited.
5 pounds to pull is not that bad
They're
for
stone
a
doors.
door intended to be open, though. Possibly this one feels like it's actually more. It's lighter. It might be clay encased wood. Not completely sure. So the door swings inward. On the other side, you find a 10 by 10 foot, or 10 by 10 by 10 cubic room. The walls here show a king saying goodbye to his loyal subjects as he prepares to depart this plane of life and prepare for the next.
Are her eyes still black?
How long does it last again? 10 minutes? 1 minute?
I think 10 minutes.
I think it's 10.
Up to 10 minutes.
I'll let you still see it. Everybody else sees a king.
Waving merrily goodbye.
The ceiling shows a sky with a shooting star near the center, heralding the king's approaching ascension. The floor is granite flagstone with a restrained abstract border. A plain wooden chair sits in the middle of the room on a small banded wool rug. A round table stands beside the chair, holding an unadorned earthenware bowl and a matching jug. A wide door is set into the far wall, carved with the image of a sun, a moon, a shooting star, and a sacred river.
Is that what I see? Is what
You,
On the other
Lanira, sees, on the other hand, loyal subjects in chains bowing as their king ascends a bark of bone to ride triumphantly into his next life. The shooting star is lassoed to his wrist. And that is the room before you.
And there's nothing else in here?
There's that bowl with the pitcher, the table, the rug beneath it.
There's nothing like an altar or a big box in here, is there?
It's not a very big room.
Alderaan, do you think it's safe to go in?
I'm going to use a different die this time.
Seriously. Where's my cauldron? Put it in it.
Alright, alright.
Okay. That would be a unnatural 20.
An unnatural 20. You see that the floor has a little bit of an odd look to it. You notice there's a pattern in the floor. It's symbols of the gods. They're symbols of the gods. Animals all interwoven and connected to each other in some kind of a linked manner. They each fit perfectly like a jigsaw puzzle. You notice there's a few that raise up a little bit. Anywhere there's a scarab, you see a little bit of a crest to that tile. A little bit of a bubble to the floor. And you notice along the right wall, there's a seam. The blocks that make up the wall's murals seem to line up oddly well for that spot. Kind of a 4 foot wide by 6 foot tall kind of arrangement. A singular vertical block. Whereas all the other ones are horizontal.
It looks like there's a door of some sort over here. Can you take a look at it by
That's
chance?
separate from the other door, by the way. There's the door with the star and the river and everything like that.
Right.
Right in front of you. But this one, different.
So it's safe?
Well, this is... Well, I was looking to see if there was any traps. The traps are the scarabs, more than
So
likely.
the scarabs bring death.
So this... Okay. Does it... With the seams the way they are,
It looks like you found a secret door.
it looks like a secret door.
Yes.
All right.
Along with seeing the scarabs. Like you were looking all over the room for
Right.
all the
Okay.
traps.
So
you saw...
All right, don't touch the scarabs because probably they'll do something like they did in the first room upstairs.
Okay, and...
And there seems to be a hidden door over here.
Oh.
Do you see a way to open it?
Do I?
Not from here.
I think we might need to call upon your mage hand again.
I think you're getting awfully reliant on this. But, point out where the door is.
I point out the outline of the door.
Okay. Can we get a little bit closer? Because we're standing in a hallway. It's very hard to see.
Well, what I was going to suggest first was press one of the scarabs.
Oh. Okay.
Since we're outside of.
I mean, we
we're
could just
outside of the room
avoid
now.
them.
We might need. It might. Now, were the scarabs similar in traps that I've come across before?
No.
All right. These aren't exactly the same as the scarabs in the other rooms. Let's see what happens if we press 1 just to see if that door opens, or if it's a block that comes shooting into the room.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I appreciate the trial and error we're going through, but I'm worried that, you know, what if something happens and we're funneled in a hallway? But let's do this thing. Boop.
The mage hand instantly dissipates as a spike eliminates it
Hits another one.
from the floor.
From the floor.
Hits
Press a
another
different
one. Nothing happens.
Naturally.
Was there anything different about the 2 scarabs?
I do.
As you press, you go to press another
Third
one.
one.
A jet of almost fluorescent green fluid squirts up from the ground and starts to splatter about the room, singeing and burning anything it touches
Acid.
before petering out and
Counterpart, does it look
dribbling
like
to nothing.
they're resetting? She hits another one.
Do they look like they're resetting?
Oh my god. Oh, Sigma.
The spike did,
The spike reset.
and the squirting acid.
The scarabs came back up.
Yeah, looks like
Right.
it.
It looks like the scarabs are indeed traps.
So let's avoid them. Okay. Also avoiding whatever remnants of that acid is on the floor.
What about you said there was a bowl, a pitcher?
Yes. There is. There's a bowl and pitcher. Maybe if I could examine the door, will you and Carmen look over the bowl,
Yes.
the table?
All right, so
Sure.
we'll look at the door.
And me and Carmen will investigate the bowl and pitcher.
Okay, I'm assuming taking your time to step around the scarab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a perception test, both of you. Everybody who's investigating things.
Oh, okay. So.
Okay. Do you want me to roll for
Oh,
Carmen?
yeah,
Or-
that actually is easier. There you go.
Nine
We now
dice.
have Carmen.
I-
So, yeah.
I mean, I was just gonna do it with my dice, but
That's
okay.
fair. Sorry, have it.
Oh.
21.
You were investigating the door.
Yes.
Okay.
12.
With a 21, you're able to find a
Nope.
similar
Nope.
turn,
Focus.
angled kind of inset
Right.
flap.
You get this.
Just you press in and it keeps and it opens.
So like, so
Okay.
say.
On the inside, you find that vertical handle.
2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Not the lock.
But neither
not
of us have
a lock.
perception. So, but we still get this.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did the pair looking at the bowl and the table get?
I got an 11 and Carmen got a 6.
Find a beautiful
Under
pair.
perception.
A beautiful earthenware bowl and pitcher
Even not here.
on a table
Hmm.
next to a chair.
Oh, and a chair.
Is the. By the way, is the
You know,
temperature.
the thing I described
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
entered the room.
Has the temperature dropped at all as we've descended into this tube?
Yes, it's gotten cooler. It's not chilly, it's still bakingly warm. But without there being airflow, it still feels cooler.
So I think we are actually going down. I know our directions were a little askew for a while, but if it's cooling down, maybe we're going the right way.
That would certainly make sense. All right, so we have this door here. We have it has the same little door in it to open, and on the inside there's a handle like the one a few back where I turned it and it opened. It's not locked.
Okay. Well,
If you could.
good. Oh, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to check for traps.
As far as I could tell, there was nothing extraordinary about picture. Not.
It might be
Natural
more of
20.
a
you.
symbolic to the religion.
Renault, thank you.
Oh.
No traps, from what you
Okay.
can see.
A twist.
direction.
And the door slides in. Slides in. And then slides to the side. A small, looks like southerly, if you've kept track of your turns and twists.
If anyone did, it would have been Carmen.
There's a hallway, but it doesn't go straight in. It immediately cuts to the left. There's a wall right in front of you, but enough space that a hallway begins and goes to the left. And from what you can see, immediately turns once more.
Are the walls bare, or are there more mosaics?
Bare.
Oh.
No wall, no adornment of any kind except for the occasional empty sconce.
If I'm honest, that's kind of unnerving.
Is it like a tight hallway or wide?
It's a wider hallway.
It's definitely not as narrow as the hand hallway.
No.
All right, so send the lights through. 2 up, 2 down.
Things look rather standard. I'm
They look
looking.
rather standard.
I'm investigating because you're. You went through the walls. I'm looking at the map right now.
Oh, sorry. Oh, did we do something you hadn't planned on?
No, it's a secret door, so I think the map delineation was...
No, I think this was just like the regular door. We didn't figure out the secret door.
No, this was the
No, this
secret
is
door.
the secret
Oh, this was
door.
the secret door.
I know where you
Oh.
are now.
So there's still that other doorway that we
Ah.
didn't. Oh, okay.
Oh, he just went, aha.
Aha!
I thought we had to figure out how to get
Aha.
into the secret door. Watch.
Roll perception.
Again? Okay.
If you're checking the hallway.
Yes. That'll be 13.
You're pretty confident that there's nothing in this hall.
Okay. All right. Slowly, we'll go through.
Away we
Heading
go.
down the hall, you reach the first right-hand turn, and you find stairs heading down. Much further down than any stairs you had seen so far.
Just like really steep cuts.
Steep cut.
I think we might have found the express stairway.
Be sure to check these stairs. I don't want to become a.
You know, I understand completely. All
Adam's
right,
family.
so if you can just give me some of your own
You
inspiration.
want to play with me?
That's our segue. And then we
Okay.
just explode into a tomb.
16.
See a few pressure plates.
Aha.
More than one.
Oh ho.
Several.
On the wall. X.
Notice that on the wall next to that pressure plate, it's kind of scraped up. And there's a gap in the floor and the ceiling where the stair is.
Oh, it's probably another one of the. Does it look like the guillotine from up above?
Not exactly. But you notice the wall's a little rounder on one side than the other.
It's a buzzsaw.
You find 6 of them on your way down.
Not all together, I hope. All right.
So we're able to still go down the steps without much trouble.
This is why you want perception tests.
And
And a very observant rogue of some kind.
we'll continue down.
You make your way all the way down these steps. Till you reach a turn. You feel like you've gone down at least one flight. One whole floor you've descended. And then another beyond that. Before you reach a bottom, and then turn with the door immediately in front of you.
Hit me. Ow!
Oh.
I'd like you to look over guidance and make sure you're not exploiting it.
It's a...
Casting, cantrip, duration, touch, duration up to 1 minute. Roll a d4, add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice. You can roll the die before after making the ability check. Then the spell then ends.
Yeah, no, he's doing it right.
Okay.
I think it's just because we're in a situation
Natural
where it's
tw-
repeating more than it would normally.
Wasn't very necessary for this
Natural
one.
20.
Better safe than sorry.
He saw it.
Door seems rather, seems clear. It's got that turn handle
good.
again. And it pulls in towards you and slides flush to the wall to your left. And you find a hallway with another short turn and a small stairway down.
Oh. When Nero rubs her legs, just like, Jesus Christ, these fucking stairs.
Well, it's a good cardio at least. Whatever that might be. All right.
It's getting a little unnerving. Just down and down. How far down does it go?
Well, at least this hallway isn't covered in feet.
It's
The
a
other one was in
small,
hands.
it's a small stair. And then you notice that the floor is sloping a little bit.
Aha. In the hallway, it's sloping.
In the hallway. You got a natural 20, I'm giving you this.
Okay, thank you. All right, so
The hallway slopes a little bit. Nothing drastic, but you do notice that you're walking down further on a ramp, sort of.
all right, so it's going along like
Think of the old zigzag exit on at Shea when you had to walk down.
Yes. All
A
right.
grade.
It's a little bit of a grade, so just be mindful of that.
Mm-hmm.
One more time. Nils, one more time, please. Ow. 19.
You find another door. After making several lefts and rights. With the same circular handle. No traps on it. You turn it, pull it inward, and slide it flush to the wall. And on the other side, you see the shoulder. You're seeing over the shoulder of a very at attention tomb guard.
Oh dear.
Facing towards us or away from us?
Facing away. You're looking over his shoulder.
Okay.
Now this is
He has not moved.
This is not looking out into the room that we have been in before, is it?
No, you've never seen this room before.
All right.
This room... is
I'm
a-
going to let the lights go in at the ceiling, not crossing its line of vision.
Okay. It still looks up and sees them, but it only responds to what's in front of it for some reason. It doesn't
Okay.
turn around. It's almost as if it registering what goes over its head. It's not comprehending where it came from. This is called object permanence. It's a psychological term. Go look it up, friends.
This is an oddly educational moment.
The
Education stream.
The dancing light dances forward into the room, illuminating a long, wide room. The size of the throne room you entered into before. Whitewashed limestone walls decorated with panels of beaten gold and blue, unmarred silk. Panels display scenes of Karitamen ruling over not only men, but all manner of fantastic creature. Floor here is intricate lattice work, broken only by a narrow path of gold, jade, and lapis that runs down the center. This is to your right, leading away from you. At the end of this way of gold, jade, and lapis, to your right, beyond the temple guard, is a raised dais, also of gold, jade, and lapis. Brand begins to sweat at the amount of gold, jade, and lapis. Upon it sits a large chair carved from a single block of white marble, inlaid with gold and precious gems in swirling patterns. The ceiling is masked by a golden lattice that is a simple cross pattern. The statuary guards stand just before you, their backs to you, and you can see the edge of another just to the right of the one standing before you. And each stands ready, facing out into this room. You notice a small, on the left armchair, the left arm of the chair, you see what looks like a pestle, a knobbed top, and a bowling pin-like body, and a flat bottom with a wooden coaster almost underneath it. Set into the chair.
Oh. Does there seem to be any way down into this room or a door elsewhere?
There's a door at the end, very, very end of the golden path. That seems to be the only thing you can see.
The throne, is there a path to it that does not cross the temple guard's vision?
Not that you can see.
And there aren't a reciprocal pair of guards across from these?
No. They're only guarding the back of the chair. Make a,
Oh, we're over the chair.
You're behind the chair.
We're behind the chair.
Okay.
All right.
You're behind it to the left.
So there's no way to reach that interesting little...
It's almost like you walked in the back of a... Make a history check.
All of us? All?
What?
Yes, all.
Oh no.
Try. Do I do?
11?
It's official. You know, it's a room of some kind of office.
Would she be the only one who can really roll?
No, you got... Anybody can make the history check.
I was asking, is there a way... There's no way for us to reach that thing that's on the left side of the chair, the arm, without being in vision? Because you said we're behind
I mean,
this
it's
thing.
close enough for your mage hand.
It's a 12.
Oh,
13.
It's like 15
Oh,
feet
what about
away
Carmen?
alright. Oh,
from you.
you roll for her.
What did... All right.
Carmen rolled
The history
very
checks.
well.
I rolled a 13.
13.
-1. Carmen rolled a 15.
Her intelligence is -1.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No. Oh yeah, it is. You're right.
Oh, all
Roll a
right.
16 minus 1.
Fuck.
She actually,
Still the best.
you hear her go,
She actually beat my roll.
I know what this is.
Oh.
This looks just like a courtroom. Think about it.
Hmm?
Courtroom.
That's a gavel.
Ah.
These are the bailiff guards.
Hmm.
Standing at attention. Waiting for the judge to make a ruling.
And the thing on the arm of the throne.
That's the gavel.
It's the gavel.
So.
It's like a stamp.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're waiting for.
It's gripped from the top.
If they're waiting for a ruling, do you think we could possibly dismiss them if they heard the sound of it?
Oh. Do you think you could use your mage hand to doot?
I, in fact, could doot.
But do you think they'll like? I mean, they saw Hildebrand's lights, so they'll see the movement. I don't know if they'll do anything about it though.
I don't know either. I mean, but if we're thinking that this has parallels to a courthouse and that would be their role in it, it could be interesting to see how it responds.
I mean, we can't really get around them, can we?
Well, I could possibly make some of us able to pass through unseen, but unfortunately the entire lot of us is a little beyond me. So, in a way, we have to figure out a way to dismiss them or fight them, or if not something we
I
can
don't know
sneak
how
on.
how long we would last in a fight against these beasts. How tall are they again?
They're like 8 feet tall. These are like if linebackers had died and become skeletons and were now armed with what looks like glittering, beautiful
So where we
gear.
are, it's almost like a reviewing stand.
Yeah, you're on the court dais. You're behind the judge. Off to one side.
I mean, there's only one way out, and I could also possibly do with the thing, and then while they're distracted, send us that way.
Or you said you can turn someone's party invisible, yes?
Yes.
What if one of us was invisible and then we use the gavel?
Well, I could use my mage hand.
But they can see the mage hand.
True.
All right. Make me invisible.
What? No. If we're going to use that, that takes a sufficient amount of energy out of me. If I'm going to do that, we should definitely. I can't make everyone invisible. No matter what, they're going to see some of us.
Unless we see if this gavel will dismiss them.
So, I mean, really, we've
We've
absolutely destroyed things twice their height. If the height is what concerns you,
I didn't think they were that small. I thought they were much bigger. I thought they were like mammoths.
Yeah, 'cause
size.
you mentioned like looking over their shoulder.
Difference. You're thinking of the Ushapti.
yeah.
Okay.
This is a tomb. This is a temple guard, essentially, a
Okay.
tomb guard.
I thought they were the big dudes.
They're big.
I mean, yeah.
They're,
No,
they're-
I meant like really big.
No.
I mean, since we were looking over their shoulders when we came, when I had the picture of
Michael Jordan, not Manute Bolt.
Okay. See, I was thinking along the lines of like, you've seen young Sherlock Holmes, yes?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Coming
but
out, they're in the
they're-
Anubis head and everything.
No. You're not at a high vantage point. You're at the floor. You're
Oh, okay.
literally
Right behind the
looking.
chair.
You're looking over its shoulder, as in like the door opened and it was standing there, and you're literally going like, "Oh, dude."
Okay.
Okay.
And the familiar motion again.
The mage hand.
Yeah.
As the mage hand goes out, you see the guards snap, their heads following the hand, blades coming up and getting into a ready position. And then the hand grasps the gavel, lifts it up, and what are you doing?
What is it? They do it twice? Is it, meh?
Believe so.
Carmen?
You're doing like the Law and Order. Doom doom.
I was thinking.
like a
as-
dismissal.
As soon as you, so you drop it twice.
Yeah.
As soon as you do that, the guards go back into a ready position and stand at attention. Even a different stand. Before they were standing at ease on, or what would be called on guard. There's a difference between on guard and at attention. They were standing on guard before.
Now they're at attention.
Now they're at attention. The blades are up. The shields are up. They're held up off the ground and in preparation.
She kind of. Do you think they would respond to auditory commands? They seem just like.
I mean, you've been researching or have been translating their language. Can you speak it?
Parade rest, then, would be the term I was looking for. Our military friend.
Parade rest.
I don't know how well your vernacular is
I don't know
with
either.
a brand new language.
Would she know that she's trying to search the pieces that they have seen for something of like dismiss or ease, or?
Not that you can remember.
No.
I worry that if I were to say something, it would come out wrong and possibly be damning.
You also might
Right.
bring their attention here.
That is also a good point.
All right. Well,
It's hard to do that voice.
Well,
You made that choice.
I did.
You did. She can get her voice back, you know.
She could.
It's been a while.
Nope.
Nope. Too many cigarettes.
nope.
Might be in another half hour.
Oh, great.
I don't exactly want to just walk right out. I mean, we could, but I don't know.
Knee just locked.
Oh.
Your hand is still holding the gavel. Would you like to try anything with it?
Put it down again.
Yeah. Well, I'll strike it again and see if it changes. Like it.
You
refresh-
strike it once,
once.
and they take one step forward.
And 2 steps back.
It seems like they're responding to the commands of the thing. I just wish I had some key to know.
Well, do it once again. See if they walk forward
One single
again.
time.
Also, Carmen, you said it's like a courtroom. What does this seem familiar? Is there a?
No, I just know that this is what this scene is.
You can do it once. We've done once. Move them forward. Twice. Put them
At attention.
at attention.
So, well, if we need to get to the other end, and we don't want them to see us, then let's just keep having them go forward, right?
Okay, and then we can try and sneak behind them.
Yeah, perhaps.
She does it once more again.
They take another step forward,
Yeah.
advancing with blades drawn,
How much
as if they are advancing on an enemy in this large room.
how much room is behind them now?
Well, if you took 2 steps off of a wall, how far would you be?
Okay, so
Are they parallel with the chair, with the throne now, or are they past it?
They're not past the chair, no. Like I said, they were against the wall. The dais with the chair on it is 15 feet away. You see that there are 4 of them now, though, that they've stepped off the wall. Well, you can see 3.
Ooh,
Oh, there's more.
there are more.
Oh.
But along this wall. In front of you. Heading off to the right.
Oh. Oh.
well, we could continue to advance them till there's enough room for us to possibly.
Try a rhythmic.
Oh, like a.
No, not even that fast, but
A trotting.
and see if they continue to take each step.
Till there's at least like a good 3 feet behind them. She'll continue if that's how they're responding.
What's the pace you're putting this at?
Normal, slow.
You can't say normal, slow, like actually either tap out a rhythm.
Yeah, as he suggested.
That's fast. That's gonna be fast.
It may matter. I'm just being clear.
That's fair.
All right. How so?
So, that's the tempo you're going at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They start to march forward,
Huh.
taking steps past the dais with the chair. You see that there were 4 against this back wall, 2 flanking each side of the chair. Get them far enough so that they step down onto the lattice. That's when you hear the click. On the far left, the golden lattice of the ceiling drops and shatters the tomb guard that was below it.
We can use them to spring the traps.
The others, completely unfazed, continue to walk with each hammer strike.
Alright, so there's enough room for us to get by. I can, as long as I'm within, I would say at least 30 feet of this, I can keep this up if we want to keep moving them. But I don't know what will happen when they meet each other.
There are others coming in from the sides too,
There should be 3.
I thought they were all coming
There's
from
4.
the same wall.
going off of.
They were all coming off the wall that you opened the door from.
Yeah.
There was 4 of them in a line, 2 on each side of the chair, and they just walked forward.
Oh, I thought they
Yeah.
were... Okay, sorry.
No, I was saying that's what
Got
they
it.
were doing, just walking
Okay.
forward.
Right,
And
so
one
they're
of
not
them
going
got
to meet.
smashed.
They're all continuing to walk parallel to
Okay.
each other.
Yeah.
Yes, they're walking
Well, 3
parallel
of
to
them
each
are.
other
Okay.
out into the
Okay.
into the larger room.
None
Yeah,
of them
got
are
it.
on the path itself, correct?
No, they're all within the lattice work.
All right, lattice work bad.
I mean, I could keep them going till they meet the wall, and then would they see if their face is like this?
Exactly.
They won't see us then.
Alright, so she's going to try and keep that kind of deploying them till their faces are like, "Rah."
Another 4 steps. And the one to the center right, closer to the golden path up the middle, is Swiss cheesed by the golden lattice descending from above. They're not just falling, by the way. There's 4 rods
Wow.
that drive it from behind as it comes down, crushing them to the floor.
As we're doing this, Hildebrand, are you able to kind of surmise the mechanism in all this? So when we go forward, in case it springs again, she's sitting here doing this with her mage hand.
Are the
Make a
Are-
perception test. Another 6 steps.
Oh, well,
The
okay,
one on
I'm
the
in.
far right gets crushed.
Okay,
15?
I'm blue, she is that.
15?
All of us?
All of us or just him?
He was the one looking for traps.
Alright.
You see that there's some of the lattice work slightly askewed. The angle's off a little bit. Doesn't line up with the rest of the lattice.
All right, so that's something to keep an eye out for. The lattice work is.
It's a very confusing pattern, but the ones that seem to be up. There goes the last one. About 2 feet from the edge. It's a very confusing pattern to see. But if you pay attention, you can see the floor has it. All 4 of them crushed underneath this spiked golden lattice work.
And does the lattice work stay down?
Yes.
It does. Oh, all right. So it doesn't reset.
You can actually see the bones shaking underneath the pressing ceiling device. Almost as if they're trying to reconnect to their bodies.
That doesn't look good.
All right. So well, shall we walk down the path to the doorway?
Make
Yeah.
perception tests.
All of us?
You just walked into a brand new room. There's more to see than
22.
just...
Alright.
Okay.
That's Carmen gets an 11 and Nils gets a 11.
A 5 for Lanira, a 3 for Carmen.
Oh, I voted for Carmen.
Oh, that's right. Go with yours. That was a bad habit.
We tied. It was 11s.
As you exit the
door, hallway.
wait a second. Sorry. There it is. As you exit the room, it's Hildebrand. He's got his head on a swivel. Notices there's a similar pattern to the stonework again. On a mirrored position, on the right side of the chair, you coming in from the left, is another, what looks like it would be another secret door. That push-in panel starting to stick out in your eye every time you see it.
What the heck? Oh, I'll open it the same way I opened the other one.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
I found another door. It mirrors the other one.
So secret door, not the main door.
It's a secret door.
Oh yes, no, I mean, well, going down the secret door.
No, it's a door. It's a door just like the one we came through into this room, but it mirrors. So this would have come out looking over the other guard's shoulder.
Right.
It could have been another way to get into this room. But your hand's on it and the deed's almost done, so open it.
Open it.
It pushes in and slides to the left.
And are there stairs going up?
There's no stairs. It's a full chamber.
Oh.
What number is
Lights.
it? 5, 6. The lights dance in.
Kitty.
You have a cat visitor.
Yes.
And you find a chamber roughly 20 by 40 feet. Shorter before you, as it is long, as it extends to your left. Vaulted ceiling is 14 feet overhead and is supported by 2 massive columns set across the middle of the room. Walls are adorned with pictograms and hieroglyphs, and the ceiling shows a similar night sky scene. Floor is covered in an abstract pattern. The skeletons dressed in leather armor stand at rigid attention.
Oh, no.
One in each corner. Want to make sure I'm reading this correct. Yes. Okay. Torch sconces are placed at intervals along the wall, sprouting up from spots in the mural where carved guards stand with torches of their own to illuminate the displayed scenes. Torches are lit.
The torches are lit.
The room contains a small writing desk and a matching chair, just in front of you. A waist-high bookcase covered in scrolls, a low table with 3 benches grouped around, and a sarcophagus. Sarcophagus is smaller and plainer than one might expect,
For the mighty king.
this one being crafted from marble. It's carved into the likeness of a man, but it has no crest as its head faces you, and you can see a simple headdressless scalp in the relief. lacking the cobra-headed crown style that would mark a king.
I hate to ask this of you again. Can you use your vision in here? I know you might just get just more of the same, but you seem to, you're seeing differences, and some of these differences might, well, make a difference in how we're able to proceed or to keep us safe.
There's something I also thought we haven't really addressed yet. When we came here, there were footprints leading in. As we were very focused in on the traps, the guards, and the story that is delightfully being displayed across these walls, you forget that there could still be someone here, and I have no idea.
Harmek!
Is it Nehekaran?
Yes.
Can Linear decipher what they said?
Make a history check for the next couple of phrases.
Oh, buddy. Okay. How many phrases? Because I'll just roll.
I just said roll ones for the next couple of phrases.
I misunderstood what you said. 6.
Use the bardic inspiration.
12, 13. And then what's this do?
D8. Add the D8 to your roll.
Yep.
13 plus. 19.
Yep.
It was a gentle request to hold.
Everyone, be defensive. Don't do
Great.
anything aggressive.
Great Tar Sharmak
Oh.
means something along the lines of identify yourself.
Do we see somebody saying these things?
Make perception tests.
I'll roll for Carmen.
Okay.
Oh.
12.
I rolled a 18, and Carmen got a natural 1.
19. It's okay. That's what Carmen
It's
does.
okay. Carmen
Lanira.
does that on her perception.
Being the one hearing the voice and being most attentive to it, notices the things around the room. There's mummified appendages nailed to the walls.
Appendages.
There's an arm to your right. Directly ahead of you, in between one of the bookshelves, is a leg. A foot a little bit further down the wall. And on one of the pillars, facing your door, is a head. Stapled through the mouth.
Yeah.
But it speaks its words, articulates its words. This is very well for someone.
The jaw kind of just moves.
And Hekarin for we are travelers.
See, you can suss out what somebody speaks, but there's nothing that says you actually know how to say anything in Nehekaran back.
To be fair, you let me do it once. That's why I was asking.
One-word sentences, not... We are travelers.
Not
We come a
sin-
long
not-
way.
No,
We
I
wish you
wasn't,
know.
I wasn't doing a long sentence. I was looking for a word that
Said we are
or
travelers.
just
Say travelers?
travelers.
A wandering band of minstrels.
Make a history check.
It's fair. It's fair.
I got this. Time to leave.
But do you believe?
Guidance?
If you'll get a +7,
Yeah.
to whatever you roll.
Can you give her some of your guidance?
I'm like befuddled.
It's not 11. 19.
Closest word you can come up with is Lotar. It means high-ranking human slave, but not of Nekahakara.
No, I will not.
That's the word that pops into your head.
Oh. Damn.
He just
Google Translate.
Pointed nose.
the jaw just kind of, and you see the head shake a little bit on the wall, and then it just, and then all of a sudden it just starts rambling in an unintelligible language, and then it stops, and
You have a sparkle on your forehead.
yeah, I probably do.
No, I know. I've noticed that since like the beginning of the stream, but I just wasn't
That's
sure
my
what to say anything
existence.
about it.
That's my existence. I
Sorry.
don't care.
Yeah.
So it speaks, just rambles in a random language, and then just, and then rambles in another completely incoherent, completely different language,
In Eltharion.
and then it stops.
Do you know Eltharion? And she says that in Eltharion.
Oh, you do speak something.
Oh!
Thank God.
Oh, it's-
Oh! Last unicorn feelings. Oh! Is there a clock somewhere in this room? Sorry.
I'll try this again. Who goes there?
Suddenly,
that's,
we're talking to the disembodied head of Cary Grant now.
I was going for more Charlton Heston.
Lunar leans over. In
No,
case
it's
you
more.
haven't
That was more.
Noticed, and she kind of
No,
gestures. She changes to common. Sorry, I assumed wrong that you only spoke the Nehakaran tongue.
Ha! I am the head scribe of the great Garitaman.
So you would be
Yes.
very well versed.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am. I am also his lead lich priest. You have yet to reply to my previous question.
What?
Who are you?
What did we tell him?
We're travelers from far throughout the Empire. We
We do not know how we even got here.
Yes, we seem to have been swept up in a bit of something arcane, and we were searching for the exit.
You didn't come here to loot this glorious doom.
We didn't even know it was anywhere nearby.
Lydia gestures to her scraps of fabric as if, like, where would I hold any of that? Just...
No, sir.
To have made it this far past all the other trials means you must be at least somewhat worthy to be before me.
Who would you be?
My name is Tetrahan. Personal lich priest to the great Gary Dobbin.
Tetrahan, yes? Has someone else been by? There was somebody we followed in.
I have not seen anyone.
Well, if you're worried about someone looting this place,
There's plenty of places for people to find their end.
Yes, we've managed to get through several spots.
They just become yet another tribute. It's fine by me. What I would appreciate to be taken down from this damn spot on the wall.
How did that happen? How were you there?
If you give me that little respite and reassemble what's left of me here,
well,
I'll tell you.
would you possibly also be willing to tell us how we would get back to where we came from? If we were to help you in such a way. I mean, that does look
I
terribly...
might be a little bit more apt to help if you were to help me first. Yes, a kindness for a kindness.
Well,
You speak Elven. You are an elf. Therefore, I assume you're not this daft. So stop fucking around with me and help. And that's where we're gonna end our episode.
Oh, last unicorn feelings really hard. The skeleton above the clock.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's it. I have been Conry. With me has been...
Cassandra Lee.
Just Kevin.
And Yield Dragon.
And we'll catch you guys next time on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern,
Hex.
for Hex by Perdition. And until then, remember to always stay evil.
Yee.
Push the button, Connery.